As we had last left it off, the party, having dealt with the judge, proceeded along to meet with Suwampati, who had gathered his masters in order to inform them of his decision to take the August Monastery to war. Whilst he valued the opinions of his masters, ultimately, as Grand Master, it was his decision. Some masters disagreed with it, one more vocally than others. Others were on board with the idea. You gave your story, and they gave their questions. And now we are now dealing with the aftermath of that. So Otti is currently having a conversation with Suwam. The first person to leave the August Soul was Vihan Adira, followed very closely by Verity, who wished to have a little discussion with him before he truly got out of sight. Moving my cameras around. I'm getting a lot of the music feedback from you, Russ, just so you know.
Yeah, I'll change that in a minute. What I've realised is my headphones are not playing any sound, it's just the mic for some reason because I'm an idiot. I'll be back.
Okay, no worries. Okay. So, immediately moving outside of the hallway, Verity, you can see Vihanadira is currently pacing down it at a reasonably quickened pace. He seems agitated and annoyed. The party follows up quickly after you, as each one of you basically just kind of file out alongside the masters. Verity, do you go up to Vihan?
Sorry, just finished my food. And I remember that I'd asked to talk to him, but I can't remember what about. And the only thing I have in my notes is gas round 2.
You were going to speak to him about, like, trying to come across as empathetic to his plight. Like, you know, he wants what's best for Tokyo, but so do we, etc., etc.
Korgrin, where would I be without you?
Something about Gas Mark II kind of rings a bell, so that's probably where you'd be right now.
I'm sure that just means fireball, yeah?
That's Gas Mark III to represent the spell level.
This looks like Gloucester Cathedral. Okay, yeah, I'll be running up, I'll be like,
So you run up beside him, and he sort of side glances you. He just kind of cocks his head a little bit to the side. You can see there are a few little veins in his forehead, and he definitely looks annoyed. He doesn't say anything, he just looks at you whilst continuing to walk, if you're keeping pace with him.
Yeah, I'll slowly be keeping pace, so I'll be like, just to remind you, I am still a child, so please don't shout at me, I am sensitive.
Why do I have need to shout at you?
I don't know, a lot of people...
to wrong me?
Well, no, but I just wanted to say that, like, I can understand that it's hard trusting us, but to be honest...
Trust is not an issue. None of you told a lie in there. My issue is the validity of what you believe.
Well,
How do you know that these memories, this information, has not been implanted into you by an unknown enemy?
well, I guess we don't. I hope they aren't. Because they were all pretty shitty, but I just wanted to thank you for, like, keeping an eye on us and having what I hope is Maltokyo's
Best interests.
Support?
Yeah, best interests.
If you truly wanted Maltokyo's best interest, you would not have acclimated for war. Have you ever been to war before, lady?
I mean, I've been in some really bad fights.
There's difference between fight and war.
Wait, would the thing down in the under be considered war?
That would have been considered a battle
A
akin
battle,
to
yeah.
a war.
Well, to be honest, I'm pretty young, so I have a lot to still experience. I mean, Korgrin's pretty used to war. I believe that's where he comes from. He was a medic? Not even looking at...
Close.
I was in war. I fought alongside Swarm, though you will notice that the history books only talk about him and his sacrifices, not of us and what we went through, but only him. I had many friends who did not survive in that war, and it was a just war. There was every reason to be in that war. I was proud to fight in that war. But never again would I ever wish anybody from this school or from Maltokyo to go through such horror again.
Well, in that war, you were fighting Argonauts, right?
Yes,
And that's what made it just.
yes.
Well, that's what we're up against now. How is it unjust this time? I sympathize to the fact that you don't want to be in war again, and it's a horrible thing. But what happens if we don't fight it now?
I do not know the answer to this. All I know is that strangers have come into our halls and told us of this enemy, told us that we need to fight. And Sawam, who I have known nearly all my life, has sided with you after a couple of days. And this I do not understand. Why he is so willing to throw himself back into the fray. I don't
think it's
get
worth it.
I know Sawam. He is governed by his feelings and his emotions. Sometimes to the detriment of our traditions and the monastery. This is why I get so angry with him. I am not angry at you. I am only angry at the concept, the mission that you have come here with. He turns around the corner, and as you following, you can see a couple more like students there. They kind of bow very, not respectfully, but kind of fearfully towards him. I have spent the majority of my life dedicated to the training and the preparation of these students. You will find that they are the most highly trained warriors in all the world, and it is because I had a firm hand in beating some sense into them.
Well, why are you
But I
training
would
on
not want them,
warriors?
because it is our way. We are the monks of the August Monastery. We are the August monks. Our fire is greater than any oars. We are the inspiration of a new generation. We are the culmination of every generation before us. Ours is an ancient way, and I should stay an ancient way.
Well, first, I'd always considered that a warrior's goal was to protect people.
Yes.
I can understand the
but,
war being a horrifying concept, especially one that you seem well familiar with. But
a wise warrior would not seek the fight, only be prepared for it.
that's all we're asking for now.
We are
Tell
prepared.
yourselves.
Swarm is seeking the fight. This is the difference between he and I. I do not wish to fight, but I am ready.
I can only hope you won't do something that you might consider regretting.
I am loyal to my Grand Master, and I am loyal to my monastery. I have been so for many years, as was my father before me. My family has spent their entire lives dedicated to this place, this monastery. I'd be damned before I see it thrown away.
Well, the only thing
I
I
will
could
follow Swarm. I will follow Swarm, but I will not be happy about it.
Okay.
Do not understand why he takes your word over mine.
Because we're a bunch of nice folk. I'm kidding with you, Sahan. Sorry,
Yes.
I have a really bad sense of humor.
I have no sense of humor. I'm a warrior.
Huh. Well,
Laughter is
there
for
is
the weak.
very little that I could probably do to convince you with words. The only thing I can truly say at this point in time is that I will try my hardest with the rest of my team to halt any of this before it comes to any unnecessary war.
At this point, he stops before a courtyard that overlooks the outside of the monastery, where you can see the casts and the mist from the nearby massive waterfall sort of like overtaking area. He takes a deep breath and looks at you, and he says, I respect courage and bravery. You are the only person who, out of your entire group of warmongers, to come up to me and try to even explain your situation. I respect that.
Courage, bravery, and idiocy often share likeness.
I am not of a sound mind as it stands right now. My tempers are too flared, my emotions run high. This is a flaw in me that I work every day to overcome.
Oh.
But if you're willing to talk, to explain your situation and explore my position a bit further, I shall send for you soon enough. Cool heads make cool plans, is it not?
I mean, I guess, like, it's hard to keep all heads cool when there's, like, what, 5 of them freaking out?
If you are freaking out, as you say, then I do not feel good about our chances.
Only when certain things happen by accident, you know, like Garistros or whatever.
You know of Godistros?
I mean, we killed one. We are fully capable in that sense. We know this now, but we did not
Killed
seek it
one.
out.
Then perhaps you are more capable than I originally assumed.
Yeah.
I myself have killed 10.
Are you issuing me a challenge?
I reckon he wants to hang around Verity for a bit and get his 11th.
Take challenge in whatever you see. Always surpass yourself. That is the way of the monk.
Well, it's been chill the hand. Like, I go to pat him on the back, but it's kind of like, I'm still kind of short, so it's like, you know, his elbow or whatever.
He will instantly move his arm to basically parry your hand away. No touching.
Oh. Okay, and then I go to make it look like I'm walking away, and I use Mage Hand to pat him on the back and run.
He make a dexterity check with Mage Hands because this guy's fucking fast.
What would I use?
It'd be a dexterity check.
Just a straight dex.
Just a straight dex check.
Okie dokie.
You cast a spell. but he's already halfway down the hallway by the time you actually conjure the spells. This guy's fucking fast.
I'll get you yet, Bahan. I do like the whole fingers, like eyes. With the matrons.
You swear he must have eyes in the back of his head because his fingers gesture towards you without looking at you as he's walking away.
And I go back to the others.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he won't kill Matey tonight. Wait, can I do a retrospective insight check to make sure he won't? I just realised that's the thing I can do.
It's fine. I insighted him when he was talking in there. He is definitely telling the truth. Absolutely no doubt.
Well, you can revisit your memories of the...
No.
If he was lying, yeah, you couldn't really tell. He seemed straightforward in what he was saying. He was clearly angry.
I mean, he had these veins on his forehead, guys. It was really distracting. That I'm pretty sure he won't be killing Stuam tonight.
Well, that's good to know.
So, as Verity has done this, the rest of you are walking out alongside all the masters. Was there anyone you particularly wanted to sort of talk to, flag down, get a read on, or anything like that?
I know I was just showing like white dragon claws and scales to everyone, like, no, look, they are real. Look, we have killed them. There's quite a few currently in Windward. We know.
Master Dunk comes along and takes one of the fangs and just goes, tries to drink it. Gives it back to you and keeps on walking.
Maybe grind it up next time and put it in something else.
He thought it was a goblet.
Did he just steal our dragon tooth?
No, give it back. He thought it
Oh,
was a
sorry.
drink.
I thought he actually ate it.
No, he thought it was a drink. He tried to... as you show these bits of the dragon, like, some do acknowledge it, like, kind of like, we do believe you. Others are more like, you're just posturing at this moment.
Just trying to convince you.
It's more of a case of, doesn't matter whether or not they believe you anymore. The Grand Master's spoken. This is happening, whether or not they like it or not.
Fair enough.
So I don't think. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say I was gonna say that I think Russ would be kind of uncharacteristically quiet. Like it's normally the sort of situation where he would be talking his head off, but I guess he probably feels a bit insecure and not really. Well, you know, obviously shit's going down, basically. So yeah, I'd probably not seek out anyone in particular.
Okay. Yeah. Can I just get a character insight into what Russ is like thinking / feeling at the moment?
Possibly apprehensive about yet another war, only this time against something that he's only just encountered for the first time, that he's only vaguely heard about. It's just kind of war is everywhere, and this time I'm a lot less prepared for it.
Okay. So, after a few minutes, about 5 minutes or so, Otti leaves the August Soul, clutching a rather hefty book with her in her arms. She has a bit of a smile on her face, actually, and a bit of a... She looks like she's in a good mood.
Oh God, she's found another one of them dirty books.
I'm informed that this one is a clean one, I'll have you know.
I was gonna say, weren't all of them written? Like, I thought they ended.
It could have been like Argonath fanfic or something. That's what I was...
Oh.
I slowly put the book away.
I mean, he did have those tentacles,
no,
you know.
we're sorry. What is it? What's the book? What's happened?
It's a history book. You won't really care.
Oh, I'm less interested.
What's with the smile as well? Like, if it was just a book, fine, but a smile and a book?
No one's that passionate about knowledge.
That's where you are wrong. I love a bit of knowledge. I'm just kind of just happy. Oh, and as I walk away, just to let you know, you guys are doing breakfast without me tomorrow, yeah?
Who's going to chew my food for me?
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, wait, no, you don't do that. It's okay.
I have nothing heavy to throw at him.
We've got the book.
Yo, look.
No, I'm not putting the book down now. It took me fucking
Oh.
over a year to get this book. I'm not putting this book down. Just kind of just turn around on my heels and just walk away.
Yeah. So Otti walked off down the hallway, back towards her dormitory or dorm. Is there anything else you guys would like to do today, or do you want to retire for the day?
Rude. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we still need to go with Suom to speak with the Maltokian Council, but that'll not be today.
Not be today. No, you need to set that up.
Okay. I don't really think we had anything else to do, did we?
Well, we were in an awful rush last time. Like, we wanted to just have a short rest, but I can't remember where we were rushing to, honestly.
I think it was here.
We were expecting
Yeah,
a fight here, to be fair.
Yeah. Generally meetings, rooms with important people, kind of associations in that degree tend to go a bit Pete Tongue. You tend to get the sweaty end of a Dwegar's arse when it comes to that kind of deal. So pleasantly surprised that there was no fighting or blood spilling, teeth breaking, etc., etc.
What time of day is it now?
Jack, I think Otti said, what time of day is it now?
What time of day is it? As this time of day, we're getting close to later afternoon or so. Like, you went to go see Suwam in the morning, and then he took you to go see Ashoska, and then it took him a few hours to get his masters together. So yeah, we're approaching near the end of the day now. So
Okay.
Well,
go back to read then.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything I needed or wanted to do.
Is there a monastery equivalent of a bar, which I'm guessing would not serve alcohol, but maybe just like a social gathering room where...
No, they serve alcohol in Master Dunk's dojo.
I was going to say, how the fuck do you think Master Dunk or Dunk gets so drunk?
It's fair. Well,
Apparently through teeth.
See, now, well, yes, but also, like, would the best brewmasters or drunken masters not give themselves, like, brewers house syndrome or some shit? And then they could truly be drunk just 24/7?
It's less of a case of they want to be as drunk as possible, or a case of
It's the illusion.
They take a drink to. They are Dunk the Drunk is a master of the Drunken Fist style of combat, and his students are practitioners of it. So whilst the booze is flowing, it's not like they are rowdy or anything like that. It's simply a tool, a means to an end for them.
This is not Bloodstock, guys.
So you can acquire drinks from them. It's mainly just sake, as well as elven wine, like.
It's not so much acquiring drink I want. I want to go to the place where people are drinking and have a quick chat and get to know people, and definitely not fulfill some of the tippers' jobs that I might still have for this place.
Oh yeah, you fucking bastard. I remember that job. You shite.
That you guys don't know about.
I want you to go ahead and just make an investigation check by using your charisma modifier, please, Rennas.
Okie doke. So,
You basically just go around asking, the monks, where's this place, where's this place?
Yeah. So there'll be a +4 to this.
Yep.
So 20.
Okay, so doesn't take you too long, but eventually you are directed to a communal kind of area where many students of the different dojos basically get together to eat, drink, and recreationally relax. Really, lots of quiet contemplation areas. There are no tables or anything like that, and most people are sitting on the floor on cushions and the like. There is something akin to a fountain there that has subsections that spurts out different kinds of drinks, where there are stone goblets around, like dozens of them. People can just literally pick them up, take a scoop, and have a drink if they want. Water is also available. There is food available on tiny little kind of like coffee tables sort of thing, whereas there is a selection of like raw meats and rice, and a pot in the middle of an active fire where you basically cook the food yourself. Kind of an all-you-can-eat buffet sort of thing. There are a few people that go around and replace some of the empty tables with additional food and stocks and just clean up after anyone, but there's not really. It's quite clean. A lot of the people that leave, they clean up after themselves. Like, it's just kind of built into them that, you know, any mess you make is your responsibility to clean up.
It's almost like a communal kitchen. Almost.
Yeah.
The never-ending fountain of alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Communal kitchen suited for several hundred people, shall we say.
I dig it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd grab a goblet. I'd grab something that looked like wine, and try and find a table of people sitting around it where there appears to be a Rennas-sized gap that I might be able to infiltrate.
Yeah, sure. So you go ahead and sit yourself into one of the little gaps. There's about 4 people at this table. 2 dwarves, 1 full elf, and 1 human. The human is female. The rest of them are male. Looks like the 2 dwarves are the Hans students, given by their attire. The female appears to be. Well, you can't really tell who she belongs to, but she carries herself with an air of like awareness, sort of thing. Like, she's just, every movement she makes with her body is precise and calculated. Like, there's no wasted movement there. The elf kind of radiates with got a bit of a golden glow, if anything. And you sit down.
As I sit down, I'm like, excuse me, do you mind if I join you?
The dwarves go, but of course, please make yourself at home, stranger.
Thank you very much. So, I have not been here for long, but what I have seen of this monastery is it is a beautiful place.
Oh, aye, it's a place where one can truly find themselves.
It's definitely not what I'm used to. I've been out on the road for a long time. This is a nice, great community of good people. I don't think I'll be welcome here for long, to be honest. I'm a little bit shady for this crowd, but I'll be moving on soon.
The elf goes, my friend, don't concern yourself about your backgrounds. I myself came from nothing. Look how far I've come. I used to pickpocket people in the streets of Jarastrakai when I was younger. I thought nothing was ever going to come of my life. Then I came here. Now I know myself. I know my way.
It is fantastic that you could create a new life for yourself here. There's nothing that you miss about your old life?
I thought there was at first. But this place has a way about it. Almost as if when I was younger, I didn't realize this was the place I missed. As if I belonged here the entire time.
It does have a very peaceful energy about it.
Oh,
And
I get to crack knuckles on faces every day. That's the fun part.
I was about to say the skills you learn are also fantastic. I have had the honour of fighting Master Swampati, and that was not a fun experience. I'm sure you know.
You're one of the strangers that took the trials and won, didn't you?
That's me.
I
Pleased
missed
to meet
it.
you.
What happened in the trials? They don't really talk about it all that much.
We may have injured him with one small dagger stroke, and that was the only touch we got on the entire fight. He probably could have killed us with ease.
Oh, I've seen this man take on. What happened at the last festivities of Fests? I believe he took on half the masters. Yes, no, maybe. I think there was a few of them that didn't participate, but yeah, no, it was a battle royale, and yeah, he beat them rather soundly.
Well, I guess it makes sense why he is the overall master.
Oh, the Grand Master is wise beyond his years. The words he carries are, well, they're beyond my imagination. I could never be Grand Master. I'm too short-sighted. Master Vahan, though, he'd be a fine Grand Master. He knows what this monastery needs.
I've had the pleasure of meeting him. He's a good man. He cares about you all deeply.
I wouldn't say that to his face. He cares about the monastery, and he cares about producing fine warriors, and he knows how to get results.
And how does he get these fine results? I mean, how long have you been here? What is training?
Oh, I've been here for 5 months. Destorn here, he's been here for 3 years. Aye, 3 years, that'd be the one. Yeah, it's basically training morning up to sundown. It's just constant body and mind training. The amount of times I've been lost a tooth. It gets regrown, of course, with the healing that they have here, but pretty much every day when I first came here, I was literally just a whipping boy. But it's part of the training, you see. Like, eventually they break it down to a point where you either break or you decide to pick yourselves back up again. And Master Vahan, he doesn't want people who break. He wants people who tear away everything they know about themselves and then decide to carry on and pick themselves up again. So you fight back and you fight hard and you fight like a devil, like you never knew what fighting was before. And then he starts to direct that anger and that energy. He starts to collect your movements. He makes you more aware of the things, makes you focused. And then if you get really lucky, then he teaches you things about the elements, but I ain't got that far yet. Neither have I.
Sounds like a fine training. I can see the appeal, I really can. I know it sounds horrifying, but...
if you like getting your ass kicked every single day, then it's Vahan's the one for you.
Well, I get my ass kicked every day anyway. I may as well get some training out of it.
Indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to swing by the dojo at any point and just ask to become a student, I'm sure someone who passed the trials would go very far under his tutelage.
I would love to be a student, but unfortunately I have other obligations for at least the time being. And maybe one day I'll return to this fine place.
That is a shame. That is a shame indeed.
So with all that training, do you not get any time to relax? Is this it? Do you just come here, grab some food, grab a drink, and then sleep, and then training?
Yes, this is our contemplation. We get the Master Vahan encourages to speak with other students of other dojos, either as a social thing or as comparative notes. Master Vahan wants us to be the best, and if we can see what the other students are like, no offense there. Don't worry, none taken. Then we can take notes, we can compare ourselves, we can see how far they have gone and how much further we have to go.
That makes sense, I understand the logic.
Master Vahan wants the best, and we're prepared to give him the best. And those who don't, well, they wash out. And they'll probably join someone like, I don't know, River on Mountain.
What about Meltokyo, the city? Do you ever get a chance to get out and just, have a day off and relax and enjoy the town?
Occasionally we'll have business there. On occasion, we'll take some mercenary work, but that's part of Grandmaster Sawam's tutelage. People kind of consider it a coming of age, shall we say, where you go out and you find some work to be had utilizing your skills out there in the real world, and you learn it and you come back here. I did it myself when I was a couple of years ago. I joined myself a company of mercenaries. We went out, we had a little bit of fun, and came back. Went up to my master, told him what I'd done. He said, "Well done, you're ready to take on to the next step," and he made me a full-fledged monk.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not sure I could deal with the encloseness. You only go out for work. I mean, I get the monastery is beautiful and it's very large, but I'd still feel trapped. I'd need to get out every now and then.
Well, probably some of the younger ones might know something about getting out, but I don't know. People generally just don't want to leave once they come here. It's home.
Very much. I understand that. I was serious about one day returning. If there is business.
Well, I hope you do, sir. Don't take me the wrong way, but I'd very much like the chance to whack your face in. Honestly, if I beat the person who beat the trials, then maybe I could take on the trials. Maybe I can learn the secrets of the monastery, because they got a lot of secrets that a lot of us just don't know. But we know it's there somewhere.
I haven't got to join the monastery for us to have a challenge. If you really would like to test your mettle.
Oh no! We can't fight non-students. It's policy, and Master Vahan doesn't want us to reveal our hands to strangers, shall we say.
Very sensible. I understand that policy greatly. Maybe one day, then.
Maybe one day. And they raise their cup to you, or their kind of bowl, and take another drink.
I shall sit there, drinking quietly, contemplating failure.
Yeah, you get this feeling from this interaction that you're looking for basically secret passages in and out of the temple, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking more like Fred and George Weasley Harry Potter thing. That like all the troubled kids, they've always got some little sneaky out thing, and that's what I reckon it's going to be. No, I've got a lead. I shall track down some younger students.
Yeah, and if not them, then the masters, who probably know the monastery inside and out.
Yeah, I'm more of a bottom-up kind of guy than a top-bottom. As for killing people, then it's top-down.
All right.
Which are you, a top or a bottom?
Whichever Ellie's in the mood for.
Oh!
Should I bring someone else into it?
So, Rennas, you finish up your socialization, and then you make your way back towards the dormitory where the rest of them are staying. Obviously, Otti will be spending the evening reading. What are the rest of you? Is there anything you guys like to be doing tonight? Anything you'd like to roleplay with any of the other party members?
That's what I got. Don't have 5th level. I will wait until dusk, and I will send a sending to Arwis.
Okay.
I'll just say Meltokyo going well. Bella sick, being cared for by August monks. That's 11. Any update on Parfadellen? 15. have orcs settled? Update on suspicious halfling. Regards, Korgrin. I've got a word to spare.
So you cast a spell and send a message off. You don't get a reply. Might just be that she wasn't outside of the anti-divination dome at that time.
I told her at dusk.
Yeah, we've been away for several days though. She only got bored after like 2 weeks.
Fair. But don't they usually get like scrambled, cackling kind of in the head, or it just doesn't go through?
It just doesn't go through. It gets blocked completely.
Damn it.
Maybe another night.
That's rude.
Edgar's already invaded
Fair enough.
Parfadellum.
Yep. Parfadellum, it's gone. War's over. We lost. Everyone's dead. Congratulations.
Drop
Fighting the
Campaign
monastery
over,
forever.
Alright.
I'll relay that to everyone. Just as a heads up, tried to do a sending to Arwis. Didn't really go very well. I don't think she was outside. Maybe she's forgotten. Maybe something's come up. I don't really know. It's what it is. Try again, maybe another day. Otherwise, I'll probably just spend the evening brushing hair, polishing armor.
Yeah.
Just kind of like TLC, like ritualistic TLC that just hasn't been able to be done, like on the road. You know, it's hard to feel clean and cleanly when you're in mud and tents and shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely.
just-
So no, this is a good place to relax and like. I don't want to say let your guard down, but you're not in danger here. So, what will Russ and Verity be doing tonight?
I'd say that Russ is probably like knows quite well like what kind of preparations are needed, but will be very kind of nervous. So he'll probably be nervously practicing blade flourishes and stuff like that, and then he might go for like, like a walk in the dark alone or something like that to clear his head, that sort of thing.
As you go for a walk in the dark, or at night time, just to clear your head, a monk will approach you very quickly and hand you a small piece of paper and retreat without saying a word and without you having an opportunity to say, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, it's quite literally, he comes out of the shadows, hands you something, and then disappears into the shadows. It's very quick.
Sorry, when Russ was saying that he was going to go walking off into the dark, I was like, I want to follow him so I can pull a prank.
Make a stealth check then, Verity.
Oh, no!
Russ, you're keenly aware that Verity is following you with an evil cackle about her.
Good child,
All right.
giggling.
But
There's somebody behind you.
Verity, you see this happen. This monk appears out of the shadows in one of the hallways, gives her a piece of paper, gives him a piece of paper, and then goes back into shadows and disappears.
Hands for pranking completely gone now. It's like, what's that?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the first thing would be try and look like where the hell this guy came from, and then
you've been in the monastery enough to know that there are some people who know how to move in the shadows, akin to teleportation.
Yeah.
It's actually a path that river or mountain follows. In that, in dim light or darkness, they can literally move in the shadows as if they weren't there.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll probably take a deep breath filled with dread and look at the paper, and it's probably going to say something like "you're a poo-poo" or something, but still I'll be apprehensive.
No, it's a small letter from Vihan. Without going into too much detail, he says he respects you as a warrior, considering how you first came to this monastery. Tomorrow, he would like your honest approach, and he would like to know your intentions and your thoughts.
Okay.
He basically just wants you to be honest tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time you're reading it, Verity's just staring at you like, she's nosy. You can tell her to buzz off if you want.
No, I think
blue-skinned child is just kind of like, ooh, that's
It's like the fucking meme where it's the kid going up to the adult going, "You got any games on your phone?"
Pretty much.
Wait, how old is Verity supposed to be exactly?
She's 18, but wild magic. I reversed a year, so I'm like 17 again now.
Yeah.
Like I was 16,
yeah.
but now I'm 17. I'm assuming that I've aged at this point because.
Yeah.
It's been a few months since the journey started, so it's up to you to decide whether or not you had a birthday in there. So.
Yeah, I had a birthday.
I was wondering whether to approach it as like 17 or like 5, you know. It's a very different kind of...
Yeah, it's 17.
A 5-year-old wild magic sorcerer. That's a terrifying thought.
It explains the wild
backpack.
magic. It explains why we
That's
keep
me.
summoning Garistras anyway.
It would indeed.
I'll be right back.
5-year-old wild magic sorcerer is just me.
Oh my god,
George has come up with the next character.
Yeah.
And with the addition of Tasha's, you'd be able to be a wild magic barbarian. It's a multi-class, and you could just be wild.
I've
Twice the
seen
wild
that.
magic.
So, nothing else happens on your walk, Russ, except for Verity following you.
No, I'll just look over at her and give her a sort of shy smile. Not because I'm shy, but more because I've got other stuff in my mind. And yeah, I'll put the note in my pocket and maybe signal to her that I'll walk her back to wherever, just because, it's a monastery, but still nighttime, and yeah.
I used to be one with the night. I was a vampire at one point. Just walking.
Just for a week.
Wild magic. Okay, so you return to your dormitories, and eventually tiredness and sleep overcomes you, Russ, and you retire to bed. Verity, you do not ever need to sleep, so you just prowl the corridors like a ghost.
It's worse because they're the fucking paper ones, aren't they? The classic kind of Japanese sliding doors. So there's the wood and there's the paper, and you just see Verity's just fucking shadow just walking past everyone's room. Just go to bed. Like, we know you don't need to sleep, but go to bed.
Who has the highest passive perception?
Korgrin.
Not me,
When
but
they're
I would also like to join Verity in prowling the corridors. Not actually join her, I would just like to prowl some other corridors.
Okay.
Looking out for anyone else who's awake at this time of night.
In your particular dormitory, or just in the monastery itself?
I'm going to wander around I'm just going to... I don't quite know how big this place is realistically. But I only have to trance for 4 hours, so I'd wander around for 4 hours, go back trance, and still be relatively okay.
So at night, it's more akin... it's still quite as active at night than it is during the day. It's not the traditional amounts of training in the courtyards, but you do see a lot of individuals practicing their stealth at night, utilizing the shadows as they can. You see a lot of people climbing up the sides of the walls outside the monastery on the casts themselves, with no safety equipment whatsoever. That is part of their training as well. Eventually, you find your way onto an alcove that kind of overlooks today. It's actually the full moon, and with the sounds of the rushing waterfall off in the distance, and the bright moon sort of just illuminating the immediate area. It's a very, very serene place, and you just take a good deep breath, and it just revitalizes you, you know? Cold night air, just clean and pure.
Feels lovely.
Yeah.
Probably just enjoy the mountain for a bit, to be fair. Yeah.
You have
I no idea where I am.
The amount of people that you've seen is probably less than half the people that are actually out there, because your passive perception is shit.
Very true. I'm not. Yeah. I suppose I need to actively find a spot and watch it. But then, who knows if it's the right spot? Oh, so much for my aimlessly wandering around at night idea.
But in terms of the size of it all, honestly, the two main temples can easily accommodate several thousand people. And then there's the main there's the main temple on the base of the ground in the middle of the cherry blossom forests. That can hold probably about another 500 or more students or so. And then there's the various rice paddy farms that are all about, as well as some of the structures inside the casts themselves. If you have to put a number on it all, like, it's got to be close to 5,000, maybe 8,000 people here.
So I did not get around much of it at all in 4 hours.
No, unfortunately.
This is fair. I generally thought it'd be quieter, so if it's that busy, I'm not really noticing anything out of the ordinary, so I'll probably head back.
Training never stops for these people, unfortunately.
It makes sense.
Okay, so...
Sorry.
Yep, Verity?
I interrupted your sorry.
First off, can I find any branches outside that are like long with 3 prongs at the end?
If you head your way down to the base of the monastery into the cherry blossom trees, yeah, easily.
Okay, so I grab like 2 of them. Gotta get some like a large amount of fabric or something, see if I can just find like a towel or something.
There are towels, monastery clothes available.
Cool.
You have to go to
Great.
you have to go to specific washers and dryers, locations and such like that. But you know, that sort of stuff is easily acquirable.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie my broom around me, so I have the stick of my broom pointing upwards, and I'm gonna like get the towel over that. And then I'm going to get the sticks out so they look like arms. And then I'm going to go to the door of everyone, casting light behind me. And like scratch on their doors and see if I can scare them.
Who are you doing it to?
First I'm going to go to Korgrin.
I knew it'd be me!
Alright. I would like you to make an intimidation check versus Korgrin's insight check.
She's got a massive fucking charisma. Oh my fucking god!
Make an insight
Korgrin's
check.
gonna piss himself.
Unfortunately, the 29 beats your 28.
The 2 crits!
But one time I get a 20 and it's on this stupid ass prank.
Yeah. What a fucking waste of 2 nat 20, guys. Well done.
So, Korgrin.
Like, forward towards you, all the good stuff.
There. There's something outside there. It's scary. It's
Join us in the sky, Korgrin.
Yeah, yeet! Guiding bolt.
Make a range spell attack.
It's gonna hit.
What's the AC of a broom? Oh, fuck off now.
Alright. Go ahead and roll damage.
Wait, it hasn't come up on mine.
It's a nat 20.
It was a natural 20. So that is 26 points of radiant damage. Are you underneath the thing, or is it just your broom, Verity?
I'm there. It's gonna hit me.
Yeah, so
One,
you take
two,
26
three,
points of
4.
radiant damage. So.
A waste of 3 nat 20s.
Now, this scary monster starts glowing, Korgrin, as you rush to reach your weapons, and that's when you realise part of the cloth has been burned away from the radiant light, and Verity is just kind of like there, kind of stars over her head, eyes kind of rolling around everywhere, and she's glowing, and yeah.
Got ya.
Well done, Verity.
Why? Just shield lowers, just... Why?
China's in the sky, Korgrin. I'm gonna walk this off. And I think better about pranking everyone else.
How long does your glowing last? Is it just 6 seconds?
The guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Until the next attack or round, so yeah, pretty much just 6 seconds.
Yeah, so after a few seconds the glow goes away, so you just kind of like limp away a bit, Verity.
Just, there's a very meek, like, sorry? Put the shield and hammer down.
Pretty sure any rooms next to that would have heard it though.
Check
yeah,
my
yeah,
pan.
the rest of you just heard this huge explosion coming from Korgrin's room.
Keep it down, Korgrin. If I'm even back yet. If I'm
Just-
not, I'll shush.
Slide my head out of the sliding door. Sorry. Shut the door.
No problem.
Go back to bed. I'm awake now. How many
there,
thought tiles are there?
Is there anything else you would like to do tonight, Verity?
No, I think getting almost to half health. Like I was already down a bit beforehand, so I think I've learned my lesson. Oops.
So, Otti,
I'm so sorry.
you read through this book, and it takes you hours, well into like the early hours of the morning. It's just one of those books you just can't put down. However, it provides a lot of context and a lot of answers you never knew before. And by the time you actually finish the book, it's probably a good 2 a.m. So you can have yourself a long rest. You're just going to feel rather groggy in the morning. That's all.
Yeah. I'll try and sleep after the book. I'll try.
So you put your head down, try to go to sleep. The information's swimming through your mind, racing you. Let's go ahead and make a general constitution check for me.
$19.
Does take you like another hour to go to sleep. Like your heart's pumping, you're adrenalized, like wow, sort of thing. But I'm just basically going to say, like, you are able to long rest. You have what I would consider a bad night. If you have another bad night, then you won't get a long rest. You'll just have a point of exhaustion.
I will slowly stop reading the book then, but I don't want to stop reading the book.
No, as in you finished the book.
It doesn't matter when I read it again. I'm not going to. I'm going to go to bed.
However, the rest of you are able to finish your long rest. Morning comes. Very shortly after you all wake up, a messenger arrives from Suwon. It's just a short message. He's basically said that he's petitioned a request to speak with the council of Mel Tokyo, and he wants you all to be there when that meeting comes about, basically.
Does it mention a time or?
It's in progress, so when he knows
Right,
more,
so
like,
he's literally just petitioned them. Okay, I get you.
basically.
Okay.
Like, like the council, they do meet daily, but they do have a bit of a schedule. However, this is probably gonna, especially with the information you learned in Mel Tokyo, this is probably gonna cause ripples in Mel Tokyo, just because the Grand Master always has an honorary seat on the council, but Suwon Pati has never attended a session since just after the war. Like, not once. So, this is going to cause ripples, big time.
There's going to be like, it gets to the secretary, and the secretary tells the actual council, and then the secretary blabs to all the other secretaries, and then they blab to their friends, and then there's whispers going around town saying, Suwon Pati is coming to Mel Tokyo.
Even the councillors would be like, fucking Suwon's coming? Shit!
He's like, what, 300 now?
He's still alive? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
However, as you are all just getting your stuff together, or getting your breakfast ready, a heavy-eyed looking Otti walks out the door and makes her way, I believe, to Suwon. Is that correct?
Yes. On the way out, I'll just say to Korgrin. Korgrin?
Hmm.
What's the population of Philly Durzan?
What is the population of Philly Durzan, Jack?
It's a good... when you were last there, it was a good 70, 80 odd thousand or so. Like, it's a big place.
It's 70, 80. I don't know what it is now since Dublanc has attacked. I mean, he took out a pretty big sector, I think. Say even if it was 10%, I have no idea on actual numbers. But last I was there, it was around that figure.
Oh, okay.
Why?
How many Duergar are around there?
Equal, I would presume. You know, the Duergar they're their own clan. They just went deeper, meddled in things they shouldn't have. So hard to really count track. Their dwarves are here, and the Duergar are here. Like they've got their own tigers, their own.
They definitely don't live
entities.
together, so.
It's very hard to say, but I'd say at least comparable. We've been at war with them for as long as we can remember.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, see you later. Bye.
You can't.
Bye!
So mysterious. How does she do it?
I think she's learning from you.
I don't know what you mean. Bye!
Should we grab her some food? She's a big lass.
I think
No,
she said.
she's having breakfast with Suwam.
Aye, that.
Which I'm not actually entirely sure she did tell us, actually. She just said we're having breakfast without her.
Yeah. One can only hope.
So, yeah,
I mean,
let's grab some food for her.
So, Otti, you make your way over to Suwon's dojo, which is at the peak of the mountain. As you get there, you can see the morning sun still sort of arcing a few reddish-like rays over the clouds in the sky. Making his way towards the house, or his particular dojo, you are greeted at the front gate, and you are let in. And he says he's in the garden at the moment. Making your way around the outskirts of the house towards where was pointed out to the garden. You see a small little kind of Zen garden, really, like lots of little plants that are meticulously cared for and crafted bonsai trees, but like larger. There are a few little benches and shrines, a well-cut grass, a few cherry blossom trees that are in full bloom up here. And you can see Swan at the very edge of the monastery, the mountain that overlooks the entire valley. Like, you're so high up that the massive waterfall is below you. And he is standing there, just breathing. He breathes in, rises up his hands to his chest, and pushes out. And then when he pushes out with his arms and breathes out, the clouds and the mist that rise up around just kind of parts away. And every time he breathes back in, they return back into their original formation. And he does this about 3 or 4 times. Until eventually he just brings his hands together, bows his head, and then just puts one hand palm forward in such a blinding speed of skill. And you hear a small little bang, like, and the air around him kind of pulsates away. It's akin to effectively him breaking the sound barrier with his palm. And you can see one of the clouds in the sky in the distance where he's pointed his palm to. It just kind of goes, and just bursts from one giant tuft of clouds into smaller little points as they just kind of just bursted away. He brings his hands back together, takes another deep breath. He turns around and sees you there. Good morning, Otti.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining me. I have them preparing chicken.
Perfect.
Do you like the skin?
Yes, best part.
We put 11 secret herbs and spices on our chicken.
You're getting fucking KFC for breakfast.
Not the first time, won't be the last. So I just thank you for preparing breakfast for me.
Of course. Would you like some tea?
As long as River didn't make it, yeah, sure.
Does River make bad tea?
My God,
She makes-
and then we woke her and met you.
Tea that is she makes tea that she can drug with her key.
I thought it was like she brews it slightly too long.
There's either too much or too little milk. You know, it's not.
Yeah, she's
be
infamous
used
for
as
her
a tea
bad,
bag,
her
multiple
bad cuppas.
cups.
Yeah.
Guess we could.
As he walks towards you, Verity, he looks at you. He tries to match your gaze, but he just keeps on like shying away a little bit. He just goes, I respect that. Well, very confident in your appearance. In that bedhead is clearly not a issue for you.
Kind of just look at him like, what?
Yeah, he's got massive bedhead as he says this.
Mine ain't as good. You know, it's been a long night reading that book.
Oh, so you've read it all?
Of course I read it all.
Took me days.
Days? It took me hours because there was so much in it.
Yes, that's why it took me days.
I really concentrated on it. I wanted to get it read.
I can just picture Otti's eyes like glazing over, just 1,000 yards staring as she says that. Just took me. Just couldn't stop concentrating on it.
No disrespect on NORAD, but I think you got your mother's brain.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was, he tended to talk with his uniform and his fists when he decided to speak at all, from what I remember him.
He was very tactical, and that, tried to be very tactical. A lot of the
Indeed.
time, I ended up doing a lot of the tactical talking when it came to things such as, who we should put on rota that night. What do you mean we can't put the same guy who was on the day shift on the night shift? Stuff like that.
You certainly have a mind about you. Come, and he leads you inside his house and sits down in a personal area where there's a brewing tea and freshly prepared plates of chicken. And he starts sort of digging into it. Well, this is nice. I like this.
This is the most civilization we've seen in a while.
I don't know if I should be happy or concerned at that.
Be happy.
Yes. Well, this is a happy occasion. It's not every day that a grandfather and his granddaughter gets to eat breakfast together. So, do you like animals?
Yes, polar bear's my favourite.
Oh, polar bears.
Polar bears, yeah.
I like flamingos.
I don't think I've ever seen a flamingo.
Occasionally you get them in the spring around here. They fly south for the winter.
Take out a journal and just make a note in the back of it that says, look out for flamingos.
Yes.
I spell it completely wrong.
Yes, that looks like the correct spelling of flamingo. Yes. So, Otti, are you seeing anyone?
Yes. However, that is not the priority at the moment. The priority for the past few months has been making sure that we get it through the next day.
Yeah, of course. I only wish to get to know you a little better. That's all. Are they nice? Do they treat you well? Is it that half elven lad?
No. I've had the delight of locking him up while drunk a few times. Wouldn't go anywhere near him if I had to.
Yes, he was. He did appear to be especially skilled in the art of not wishing to be seen.
Yeah, sometimes. No, it's Melody's daughter, Bella.
Ah, Melody. Yes. Is Bella is the one who is currently sick at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah.
Must be very concerned about that.
I totally saw her last night. I didn't forget at all.
You did see her yesterday, like before you went to go see Swan.
I know, but
I don't know her very well, but she seems nice and she seems strong. I think she is a good match for you.
we're the best of friends growing up. We did everything together, so.
There's you know, when Eleanor and I first met, we were actually enemies. In my youth, if you can believe I was young once, I spent some time away from the monastery. And I got involved with mercenary work. And during one of my missions, I was meant to protect. Well, I was meant to protect an individual that the authorities wanted, shall we say. And it seemed like a routine mission. We were going from one place to another, and then out of nowhere we were attacked. And I dispatched with many of the guards. I didn't kill them, I just knocked them out. I wasn't in the habit of killing people doing their job. But there was one guard who I could not defeat. But she could not defeat me. It was Eleanor, and we fought each other to a draw. I remember we were standing there, we were exhausted. Our client had long since run away from us. We'd been fighting for hours. I think everybody just kind of moved on. We were so enamored in each other's skills and abilities. We stopped, and I was clutching my chest, and she was holding onto her knees, standing up, and we were sweating. And I told her I'd never met anybody who could match my strength before. I told her who I was and where I came from. She told me who she was and how she was aspiring to become a knight, of all things. An orc, wanting to become a knight. I admitted my youth. I scoffed at this notion that an orc could become a knight. And you know what I said to her? I said, if she ever did it, then I would go back to the August Monastery and become Grand Master. I made that in jest. But after seeing how hard she worked to become a knight, I felt obligated to make it my life's pursuit. And, well, years followed. I was, as I say, the mercenary, and we fought against each other on quite occasions, and then on some occasions we even fought with each other. And she was my rival. And then one day, after being punched in the face by her several times, and after kneeing her in the guts, we just looked at each other, and I just saw her in a completely different light. I think that was the very first time my heart ever skipped a beat. We began a relationship with each other. It was nice. We kept on pushing each other to become better. We were good for each other. In many ways, it just took us a while to see it. And then when Eleanor was finally accepted as the first Orc Knight, she came to me and she said it was my turn. She was going to help me fulfill my promise to her. So we left for Mount Tokyo. We spent several years here, training and loving each other. We had this little cave out in the jungles that we had to go to get away for a bit. She signed our initials there, actually. Well, yeah. Anyway, that's how I met your grandmother.
I'll have to go out for a visit at some point to go and see it. I'm sure it's
You've already been there.
I do not remember.
You might.
Then
There was a session where you found the cave with that you took a long rest in, and inside this cave, you found carved into the stone a heart with an S and a E in it.
Shit, I think I remember.
someone scrolled over it, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
Somebody
me and
vandalized it as well.
yeah, me and Bella put ours in there as well.
Yeah,
You did, yeah.
I think we did.
yeah.
Oh shit! I have
And your
completely
grandparents have got the same make-out spot. That's kind of weird.
Probably in the same cave they banged.
Keep throwing things at me.
I'm sure they cleaned it afterwards.
No, moving on. Moving very quickly on.
The same dirt and everything.
No.
Remember, this is a beautiful love story. Let's stop smirts like dirtying it up with smut.
Zachary.
Guilty.
I started Richard Leia.
I was wondering if you guys would ever get that Easter egg I put in there.
Didn't Zach it up.
There's so many things I put in there that you guys have never noticed.
That sounds about right.
My little brain is like mush. Like it needs building slowly. In that case, in character I probably would have forgotten that as well, to be fair. So
well,
maybe.
it's hidden away. I'll be surprised if you can find it.
Smooth brain.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear positive stories for a change, like the book. It's nice to hear good things, and rather than just horrible things.
Eleanor was a force to be reckoned with, Otti. Your grandmother was a force of nature. Never have I met anyone in my entire life as skilled and as disciplined as her.
I got that impression from a few passages and stuff that were in there, which I made a note of. I totally remember to make a note of. There's just it's astonishing how positive things could be and how things aren't redacted. When we were in Jarosh-Jakai, everything was just redacted, and it's
If it
so...
even existed at all. I was there a few days after Eleanor was executed. There were a lot of book burnings in the street, and people wanted it. It's almost as if everything that she had just done in the last few years for them was forgotten about overnight. How could they possibly think she was responsible for Raziel's death? It was sickening.
And this is where I'm kind of sat on the fence after reading this and some of the things that we've along the way. Something just doesn't add up, and I want to find out what doesn't add up.
I never understood it either. Like, Eleanor was friends with Raziel. True, he was her king. But they were friends. He was friends with all of the knights. I never had... Well, I did meet King Raziel on a couple of occasions, but they were at formal events. I never knew them. I never knew him as well as Eleanor did, but from what I did meet of him, he was a good man. He was a good king. His death was a tragedy, but it was not Eleanor. I know it in my heart.
And this is why, the truth has to come out. We have to know what happened and to try and restore something, because...
Yes. If there's anything I can do to assist you in this endeavor, just ask.
I'm sure I'm gonna go this morning to go and find some maps, to try and have a look and see, because something doesn't add up about this book as well. So I'm gonna go and get some maps and go and take a look at them.
Is there anything I can provide some context for? I was in the book.
So I'm gonna go and grab the maps. I'm gonna try and dot down what I can. If you can help me with some extracts that are a little bit confusing, that would be appreciated. I know that you've got a busy day ahead of you. We got the messenger before I left.
Nothing is more important than you. We can go together if you'd like. Yeah. Make a day out of it. Do a little bit of shopping. Like shopping?
If you're more than welcome to come with me if you want. I haven't told anyone else wherever else I'm going. I'll drop him a message if I leave.
The Han can easily handle the monastery whilst I'm away. I don't mind going to Mel Tokyo with you.
Like 3, I want to say.
It's been about 4 or 5 days since I ran.
There we go. We had 30, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Yeah, we can go map shopping and have a look and try and plan out some of these maps if you want.
Wonderful. Well, I do have one small matter to attend to. I will come and get you from your dormitory, shall we say, late morning, close to midday?
Yeah, sure. I'll go and check in on Bella and then meet you there in a bit.
Good. Well, are you going to finish your chicken?
Hell yeah. I'm not leaving chicken.
The first moment you just see his kind expression just kind of get a little annoyed. It's almost if he wanted the chicken. Oh, okay. I'll get some more then.
Oh, if it's the last of the chicken, I will split the chicken in half and leave a piece.
Tell you what, we'll make a competition out of it. The chicken is perfectly centered between you and me. It is in the center of this table. The first one to get the chicken wins. Chicken. Do you accept this challenge, Otti?
Why not?
Very well. He puts his hands down to his sides. 3, 2, 1, go! And make a dexterity check.
That is a 5.
You need a 1. You need him to make a 1.
This is like a granddad just taunting a little girl.
So, you reach out, and before you're even halfway across the table, his hand's gone forward, taking it, put it in his mouth, and put it back on the table with a small bite in it. Better. Would you like to try again?
Yeah, go
Clearly,
on,
you have
try
much
again.
to learn.
Yes, let's try again.
All right, so just make one more quick dexterity check for me.
That's a 4.
How could it be worse?
So, as you reach your hand towards again, he doesn't move right until you're probably about an inch above the chicken, and he reaches forward, grabs your hand, and kind of bounces it away, then takes the chicken, and then just puts it in your mouth before your hand's even fully all the way up.
Well, thanks, I think.
My apologies. I like to. It's something I used to do with REM. We used to have food fights.
You used to have food fights. Well, I never
Yes.
thought I'd hear you say that.
Yes. The amount of custards I got in my face. Especially at breakfast time. Eleanor was... she encouraged the whole thing. And the amount of times I got... It's part of the reason why I got so fast. It was to avoid all of the flying sauces and custards and creams from the dinner table or the breakfast table. I mean, I was the Grand Master at the time. I mean, I couldn't exactly go out looking like I poured breakfast all over myself. But no, you if you ever feel like you want to improve on your speed, you just, I'd be more than willing to teach you everything I know, including the things that I don't teach the students.
That it would, as useful as it would be, sometimes I just need the pure strength. I don't need to be fast when I can just barge the shit out of people.
You could be strong and fast.
True.
Eleanor was... You know, when Eleanor became a legendary knight, when she was becoming a knight, we were equal in every way. When she came to the monastery with me, and I worked my ass off, and she helped me, eventually the prior Grandmaster Petra, he made me the new first master. And when Petra died and I became the Grand Master, we lived together for a little while longer. And eventually the war came. Well, in time after I became Grandmaster, Oriane was born, but Eleanor was called back to the capital for preparation of war against Talia. I couldn't leave because I was the Grand Master, and we decided it was better to raise Arri in the capital, so Eleanor took Arri with her. We wrote often, and we visited as often as we could, but soon enough, war did break out against Argonef. Arri stayed in the manor in the capital. Eleanor and we went to battle. And I was able to resupply at some point in the war in the Prime Lands preparation. I got to see Arri again, spent some time with her, but she did not enjoy my presence. It's because I was not there during her earlier years. It's actually where the rift between us started. Well, in any case, I spent what time I could with her, and then I was whisked off the front lines. My mind always lingered with Eleanor and Otti and Arri. And then, eventually, in the latter part of the war, I met up with Eleanor again, along with all of those legendary knights that I'd heard so much about, and there was such a gap between us. My goodness, all the training I had done. It was as if it was nothing. We never tied again. She was miles ahead of me. I couldn't even dream of approaching her level. Even now, many years after the war, I don't think I'm even. I might be close, but I think she'd still be ahead of me if we were to spar once again. Yes, sorry, I'm rambling. I've not thought about Eleanor this much in such a long time.
And this is why it's a good thing to talk about it. I saw your face when when she appeared in the arena.
Yes, that was and he reaches into his pockets and he pulls out that small little locket that he carries, and he looks at it, closes it up, and puts it back into his pockets. It did take me off guard, I'll be honest. Yes. I've not really had anyone I could talk to about this, I'll be honest.
Now you can bore me with stories forever.
Well, if you're happy to be bored by my stories of your grandmother, then I think I think we'll be here for a long, long time. But we'll go to your friends and get ready for the day. I'll see you later. I'll see you later today, and we can talk about all the stupid things that Eleanor and I used to do, and then we can talk about all the stupid things that you and Bellatrix have done, and then yeah, that sounds nice to me.
Sounds good to me as well. I'm gonna stand up, give a slight bow. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making me food. I appreciate it.
Otti, please, don't bow. I would like to hug you, if you are comfortable with that.
Yeah, they're going for a bear hug.
Oh, I am not. I'm over 80 years old, Otti.
Sorry.
You get the feeling he's playing it on a little.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm very stupid though, so I probably would not even work. Be like, oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you. I will see you later. And you can tell he just looks so much more positive now. Like, he just looks happy now. No longer stoic and taciturn. He's not being professional. It's like a side of him that he has long since buried is finally waking up. And you're getting to know Suwam, not the Grand Master, but Suwam himself.
Yeah, I leave. I have a slight skip in my step. I'm kind of happy.
Okay. Alrighty then. So, what are the rest of you like to be doing this morning for breakfast, or is there anything you guys have any plans for today?
Eating anything but KFC and finding some dinner, finding some breakfast for Otti, since he's never told us where she was going.
You mean you don't want some MOCC? You don't want the mock?
Mock!
Yeah. You don't want mock? You don't want mock for breakfast? What's wrong with mock, my man?
Smell Tokyo and oil-coated chicken.
Oil cooked.
Or cooked, sorry.
Well,
know, Russ would seek out Vihan before the council meeting. Probably it would probably be best to get that out of the way.
Making your way over towards Vihan's dojo, you are denied at the gates. Vihan is not seeing visitors at the moment.
Don't they know who he is?
Russ?
I'm nobody, mate.
You do basically mention that Suam sent you a message. Vihan sent you a message. To which he basically replied, "When Vihan is ready, he'll come. He'll call for you."
Okay, well that's good enough for me. So was that not the answer I was supposed to give?
No, that's fine. No, I'm just reading through the chat, so I just realised what that mock actually means now.
Yeah, I feel bad for asking what happened.
Mark happened.
Yes, well, Suam and Otti had chicken for breakfast with 11 secret herbs and spices of Maltokian cuisine.
Then that spurned that entire chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Had no involvement.
So Verity had a conversation with Vahan and basically got the feeling that Vahan wasn't going to betray or backstab Suam. He was just pissed off that they were going to war. There was no fighting or anything from the masters. Suam basically said, we're going to war, deal with it. So they're dealing with it, basically. And then Otti and Suam had a breakfast. And Suam basically told Otti about how he met Elle for the first time. And how they, soon enough fell in love. Anyways, so soon enough, Otti returns to you guys, and it's going close to probably about 10 o'clock at that point when she finally returns, and she just looks happy. And she's a bit ouchy from eating chicken in the morning, but
A bit of reflux.
Oh.
It was a lot of chicken.
Yeah, Megan really joined at absolutely the best moment, really.
Like literally as I think it was pick up the chicken and he puts it in your mouth and I'm like, what? And, I was thinking of a feathered chicken and I'm like, why are we putting feathered chickens in people's mouths? So hearing that it was mock rather than a
long ride
whole
for Matt.
live chicken. Yeah, and I've been here 5 minutes and I am traumatized.
You got the chicken and then the post-chicken malaise.
Yeah. It's just, I'll just go now.
Fucking hell, it only takes George 5 minutes to do these amazing little doodle sketches of hers.
Oh, they're fab.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a week to do her own portrait.
Yeah,
Weeks
sus.
and
No,
weeks and weeks.
Months.
I was really worried that it was going to be the bit of placing it inside Otti's mouth. I really didn't want to sketch of that, but
I'm kind of glad that it wasn't, and it wasn't like the anime kind of, with the blushing as well as the chicken that goes in.
Don't fucking give her ideas.
I was about to say you're literally inspiring her right now.
Look, I am. Oh, okay. I am socially awkward. Verity.
Too late.
Oh no.
Exactly. See? I say these things, not as an actual don't do it, but as I'm putting this, I'm vocalizing this idea, in case nobody else has had it, so that sharing is caring, just like
oh
with
wow!
Mark.
I sure hope no one ever does it. That would be
Just
awful.
like
I'd
with
also
Mark.
like to point out I have a massive phobia of custard and cream and things like that. So it was even worse.
That's why I got things thrown at me.
All this shit is just coincidental. I don't actually know all this about you, Ellie.
I
Are you
definitely
sure?
didn't send Jack secret messages. This one will really annoy her.
I'd say I just picture Jack just outside the window, just with a notepad, just going, scribble, scribble,
Now
scribble.
that I've thought about it, I
Mhm.
might send Jack messages about what will really annoy me. But, you know.
I
Think
mean,
about it.
you
Didn't
don't-
we actually talk about your phobia when we did the live session, Ellie? Because wasn't the... Oh, no, it was when we were facing the gelatinous orb, I think.
No.
The black
He's
pudding?
groaning again.
No.
The black pudding, that one. Yeah.
Jelly black pudding.
I'm going now.
Like little jelly.
No.
Cold custard
Okay.
out of a can.
If you want to feel less alone, I have a phobia of milk, and it's got in the way of my life a bit.
I'm definitely not going to milk that.
Yeah. There is a gif that is one of Zach's favourites that he likes to share. So that is in relation to milk. But anyway, back to the game. I would like to ask Korgrin to scry on Gerald for me, please, because after the whole thing about the Colossi and that he's trying to get them back up, and one potentially being where the tippers currently are, that is something that Arri would politely ask Korgrin to do for her.
Sure.
Otti might actually have an idea about what they're doing now, I think.
Taking a big old poo in the biggest sandbox ever. The desert.
So, anyway, so
But I will
you-
scry. OT's not going to time that in randomly, you know. So.
What is your spell save DC?
It is a fat 16.
You don't have anything that belongs to him. You've only heard
I have
of
a
the
letter
target.
from him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's not his property, though, is it?
It's not, but I think last time I described him, gave Korgrin the letter.
You did
Yeah.
describe, and because
yeah.
you emphasized his bald ass head.
Yeah. And
and
is tetrachromia as well? I think that's what it's called.
Heterochromia, the one eye
Thank you.
color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Your.
So he fails the spell. He fails the wisdom save. So your vision takes you away from Mount Tokyo. You go traveling across the mountains, the plains, into a deserty canyon-like area. In a different place than what you've seen before. But you see this Gerald person currently hiding behind a rock. With an arrow knocked, and he sort of leans up over the rock and looks down into the valley, points an arrow, and fires. And because the spell lasts for a few minutes, you watch him get out from that rock, make his way down, and eventually you come into your vision. Appears to be a hunted bit of wildlife, kind of like a bit of an armadillo. He takes the arrow out, wipes it a little bit, and takes a knife out and starts to skin it. Apparently, it's his breakfast. As he starts licking his lips, he looks a little hungry. But other than that, there's nothing else of note that you can see. He's still out in the desert. Still out in the frontier area.
Fair enough. As I come out of it, I just go, "Oh, we shouldn't be eating that. I got leprosy." Just as a heads up, I don't know if old Gerald will really have all of his limbs next time you see him. Armadillos carry as a disease. Very bad for you. Wouldn't recommend eating them. He's eating one. So,
He's
not
gonna cook it.
You can still get leprosy.
What? It's a fantasy armadillo.
I
It's
know
the
about
first thing
real
I could think of.
armadillos.
I was
The last-
thinking of desert-based small animals that aren't like coyotes, because somebody doesn't like the idea of like dogs dying. So I just went with armadillo.
Yeah, the last thing we need is like magical leprosy, though.
You're like, Bella's got fucking magical gorilla cough
AIDS.
COVID. Yeah. Gerald can have potential fucking leprosy from a shitty armadillo that he's eating. It wasn't very eventful though. He's still kicking, you know. He looks a bit hungry, but it doesn't really look like he's doing much with his day.
He was certainly dirtied up and all that. So
Use of the
To be
bath.
fair, if they end up finding the Colossus, then I will not expect to see him again, if I'm completely honest.
Well, what were they looking for in the frontier? They're looking for a weapon, weren't they?
Yeah, as like from what I remember from we learned in the Tippers thing,
But
because they want us out there.
yeah, do we want a literal weapon, or as you say, is it a colossus? Which one is it? Is it
I
just
can't
a
think of
magical
much
sword,
else
like
being out there.
a magical sword stuck in a magical stone in the middle of a cave, and a canyon of fuck knows where? But maybe it's more than that.
Do you know any fairy tales about the swords in the stone? Any swords and stones? Because maybe they're looking for a mythical treasure.
Do I know
No.
any, Jack?
Well, there were literal swords and literal almost stones that we saw like yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, Otti, you're keenly aware of what the organisation of the Tippers generally wants. You're also now keenly aware of something that was considered abandoned out in the frontier, for it was never discovered.
I am just looking at the moment. However, no one has told us where we're going in the frontier. So
We haven't said we're going to the frontier. I haven't mentioned the Tippers are out there because I need to give you a reason what. I don't know,
Just did.
Yes, fair. Okay, sorted. Problem solved.
I redact the scry, refund the well, not necessarily the scry, but I suppose it depends on whether.
No, in this particular case, Arrabella asked you, Korgrin, if you can check on what he's doing, and he's out in the desert looking for something. So he's a tipper. What are the tippers looking for in the desert?
I do.
Nothing. Don't worry.
When my headset was off, I heard
You told me to
someone say
scry. That was it.
registered. Oh, okay.
And from Otti, you've just recently learned of something of a hidden, a forgotten and abandoned place in the frontier.
no, why would the Tippers be doing this? No.
How many times the tippers?
It's only a guess, but it's an educated guess. It's an educated guess.
I know. I'm gonna go and get some maps, and we're gonna come and have a proper conversation about this. I think in character.
Cool. Otherwise, have I? No, I didn't get anything back from ours because she didn't get it to begin with. Okay. I need to do spell slots.
Well, effectively, the rest of the day is going to be relatively quiet for you guys, so you can choose what you'd like to go for the day. Otti is going to go shopping with Swan in Mel Tokyo for the day. So you guys can decide what you'd like to do today. Nothing of... if there's anything you'd like to do, train, like consider it a day of downtime, really.
Otti, could you throw the contents of the bag of holding into chat? Pretty please.
I sure can.
Thanks, Boo.
Please don't call me Boo.
Noted. I will think of other things.
So.
Yeah, I would definitely be into training, but without the bag of holding. I'm not sure what I would train in.
Well, you can work towards either upgrading an attribute or towards a proficiency in a
Thank you.
in a skill, or just doing something, just doing an activity that you think Russ would like to do that would generally take most of the day.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Don't pay much heed to one vial of baby goo.
Oh.
We need to find another name for that. Fucking hell.
Oh shit, there's a moonlight sword that no one's used for ages.
Okay, one thing that I do have that I've not got proficiency in is Thieves' Tools, so I might try and do that. But
Right, because
it's maybe not a very
Thieves'
monkey
Tools-
thing.
No. Because these tools are a relatively specific kind of proficiency, I'm going to say it's going to take you 30 days of downtime to become proficient in thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm.
So you can basically scratch off today by practicing with it.
Yeah.
Rennas or Arrabella can show you a
I
few.
was about to say,
tips and
as I'm
tricks.
not working towards anything personally at the moment, I would happily help them out if that would give them a reduction on that time.
Well, it's basically like you're teaching him to take the first steps, basically. So.
Yeah. Okay, look.
So you now have 29 days of downtime left before you are considered proficient in these tools.
Okay.
Otti, your trip into Maltokyo is quite serene, actually. You get a lot of stares purely because of Swan Pati. As you remember, there's a gigantic statue of him in his youth in the middle of the city. And there he is walking around looking exactly like that photo, not looking old at all. Now, a lot of people just assume he's a person who looks like, the statue, like a lookalike kind of person. A few of the more insightful citizens kind of understand that he's actually the real person and give him a wide berth, but you can clearly tell he carries a massive amount of respect from these people. But despite that, he still goes, quite happily with you to any kind of shop. He argues with a number of shopkeepers about the prices of a few things. He just you go to lunch, and his table manners are atrocious. Like, he passes gas a lot. He's basically, he kind of just behaves like a little like bad granddad, if anything. He's a completely different person than when you first originally met him. And it's nice in a weird kind of way. He clearly doesn't actually care much about what people think about him. Clearly what he cares about, and something that he's clearly learning himself, so he cares about spending time with you. Family. And it probably reminds him of the time where he was able to spend time with R.E.M. and Eleanor. And in a way, he's gotten that back through you. So, just by being with you, doing things with you, means a lot to him, clearly.
I'll just keep that for a little bit of a mind thought.
As of your shopping, you want to go get the maps, right?
I do want to go and get the maps.
Right. So they were originally going to cost you probably about 10, 15 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Swan being there reduces that price to about 5 copper.
Shit, okay.
It's basically like, are you really going to charge me? I have to make some money, make your costs back, and that's it.
Okay.
They dare not challenge the Grandmaster. If he says your prices are too outrageous, your prices are too outrageous.
Okay, I'm going to give them a gold and not ask for any change. And then...
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
When Sawam leaves, I'm going to leave another 5 gold on the counter. And I'm going to say, yes, it was a good deal. but you still need to eat at the end of the day.
I make plenty of money already, madam. Honestly, he's right. My prices are absolutely outrageous. 5 copper is it's equally what they're worth. I'm sorry, I dare not lie to a companion of the great Suam Pati.
Don't charge everyone. Try and reduce your costs across the board, and leave the 5 gold on there and just walk out.
He looks almost tearful in a way, like you've changed his life today.
Yes, I did a good thing. I'm not killing anyone.
You were buying maps in Meltokio. I've got a good few years ahead of them.
Clearly, status begets power, or in this sense, discounts, like heavy discounts.
Like the real world.
So, can I just confirm which maps that you purchased?
So I would have got one of the frontier as a continent. If they had one of Talia, I'd get one of Talia.
So Talia, no, they don't have any of that. That is withheld information. That kind of information, probably best to get that through the tippers.
Okay. Did you say frontier is a place as well as the continent?
Yeah, so the frontier is the name of both the largest settlement there as well as the entire area.
Okay, so the continent frontier, the place frontier, Vorod, and the surrounding woods. And there is one more place which I made a note of. And it relates to that woods, which I now cannot find in the book.
Is it the woods that the demonic army stopped to burn?
Yes, that one. I'm just trying to find it in the book. Whereabouts it was.
That forest no longer exists, so there's not really a map of it, but it's basically north.
Where roughly it is in the world. I'm trying to remember which county area it was kind of in. Dry Hills. I'm sure it's by Vorod. Pride Lands. By the Pride Lands?
Pride Lands are the place around Vorod. So there's the Brine Lands, which is obviously where Okahu fell under. There is the Meltelkian lands, which is obviously the areas around Meltelkio. There used to be the Prime lands, which was the land around Yaroshikai before it became an Everwinter place. And then the areas around Vorod was called the Pride lands.
Yeah, I might try and grab one of the Pride lands as well while I'm here.
Okay.
I think there's some places to mark on there as well.
There's places of the battles, is that right?
Of the battles, yeah.
Alright. Just make Well, if you know what I can do, because I've been preparing for this one.
Because I warned you.
Just to give you a little bit of a geographical idea of it, here's the world map.
Shit, is that where they are? Oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Stand, embrace the farmers.
So this is the one that you wanted to know about. That's where they stopped.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But it's enough of that for now. Because obviously the rest of them haven't read it. So
No, I've been waiting. I want to show them with the map as well to kind of give them a bit of context.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you guys would like to do in your day of downtime? Obviously, Russ and Rennas are busy.
Can I just work on my decks? I think I've still got like 60 million years until I can get a point, but
Yeah, you can place another day towards your updating your dexterity attribute.
thank you. Go running around bridges and rocks and trees. Be a little monkey.
There are plenty of places where you can practice that sort of stuff, like training obstacle courses. You know, climbing, abseiling, all that sort of stuff. Verity, Korgrin, is there anything you had in mind? Something you'd like to work towards today?
There was. I'm just looking for it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Verity, go first. If you've got something, go for it.
Well, I don't know how long my thing is going to be. So, question: how much was the total that we owe Haran
Haren?
and Wade?
Oh, fuck me. We're going to have to go back to the old letter he sent everybody. Yeah.
I was going to say, I only have the letter from Haran, but it doesn't say how much money. There's just enough that they could formally pack up shop.
No, because it was in the GM layers of all your weapons, that's why.
Okay.
Wait, items. No, not. Yeah, so. Can I get back to you on this one because I have to go into a lot of places, a lot of handouts.
That's fine. Just message me whenever so I can put it into my bio thing so I can
That's a lot of money, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I guess.
Like the land above is 12,000, definitely. So.
But yeah, like I know I've I've paid off some of it, but today, like, Verity was thinking of like trying to make a plan to prank Russ, but she doesn't know what would rattle him yet. And probably would have like tried to follow him for a bit, but then realized that she had this debt looming over her and was like, So she's going to try and see if there's any get-rich-quick jobs that she can do by herself.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I'm gonna suck at that.
Guidance.
You're not there, Korgrin.
I can guidance myself.
Hey, well, you're welcome.
So what am I looking for? Investigation.
Yes.
Okie dokie pokey Loki then.
I wouldn't advise Pokey Loki. 3 of his kids ruin the world.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
So that's 23 in total.
Well, what you can do is you can head into Neo Tokyo and basically just put on a magic show.
That ain't gonna get me much money though. I'll try.
Well, I'd like you to make a performance check.
Ironically, not proficient in this.
I mean, it's entertaining enough. You're able to make about. Sorry, let me make a quick roll. You can make 15 gold doing that.
15 gold? That's no good.
Not with that shit. No.
Is there no one looking for like a monster for me to kill for like 100 platinum?
You mean a monster for you to summon?
And then kill.
Same
Do
thing.
you want to go to the tippers and ask for a job?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Mm.
Let me just
Like-
see what they have available.
I'm just gonna poke my head in and be like, look, I'm not looking for anything like super illegal. I'm not sneaky or anything like that. Is there just something I could kill for you guys and like get a whole bunch of money for?
Sorry, let me just check. Hold on. They do have a couple of contracts on some creatures, but not paying the money that you're hoping to get, I think.
Oh.
You can. There is one particular bounty that will pay a significant amount of money, but that's a royal contract.
Does that mean I would have to kill a royal?
No, that means you'd have to kill Vectra.
I mean, we're working on it. I might as well take it.
That's not a tipper thing. That's more of a, hey, we killed Vectra. Can you pay us the royal bounty?
Oh.
So you'd have to kind of
get it from the capital. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to disguise yourself because you're currently obviously wanted a lot by the capital.
I'll think about that one.
Yeah, but no, that's paying a significant amount of money actually. So, there is a black dragon in the South Maltokian lands that sort of raids between some of the Maltokian villages on the coast, and also sort of spills over into the southern Brine lands as well. He's always been a bit of an issue, but he's not been active over the last couple of years. But that's an active bounty.
I mean, I'll take it. I don't know if I could do this one alone though, but I guess I'll have to try.
It's an adult black dragon, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. Gosh darn.
Well, it'll take you several days of travel to get to the location he operates in. So,
I'll take it and I'll leave it on the back burner for now.
Yeah, but in terms of like get rich quick schemes, really the best thing they have is a direwolf, and that is a direwolf outside of town for 75 gold pieces.
Well, that's not worth it. I'll just take the one for the dragon and I'll head home and I'll start working on my rust schemes.
Okay. So, Korgrin, what did you want to do?
I want to practice cooking, please, with Maltokian spices.
Of course.
And
is this towards your cooking proficiency?
It can be, but it's just, kind of flavor, fuck around RP. It can be. I was going to make a dwarven dish, but Maltokian style. So I'll kind of, if I can, scrounge up the ingredients so I don't actually use any of those that I've bought. But I would like to practice Orange Mountain Duck for everyone, just as a lunch.
Go ahead and make a dexterity. No, this will be a performance check using your dexterity modifier.
I don't have a dex modifier. So that will be a d20 just plus my proficiency bonus.
Silly tiny-legged dwarfs.
d20 plus 5. It's not good. It never is good. Why do I bother?
So, you cook, you leave it alone for a couple of minutes thinking, yeah, I'll let that simmer. You get back to it, it's burned.
Well,
nom nom nom.
Glad it wasn't my ingredients. And I just check to see if anyone's around. Is anyone around?
I assume you're cooking this in your dormitory, so no.
I chuck it out the window.
It hits a monk at the bottom. and knocks him out.
Arri, as you're doing your deck stuff outside, you're currently swinging on some vines outside the castle. You just see this burnt mill just fall past down below you. That's weird.
Look up and with keen mind just realise it's fucking Korgrin's room. What the hell's he doing?
You don't know that?
Hey, I got keen mind. I could probably work it out.
Go ahead and make a nature check, Arri, as well.
I just open the windows as well, let it air, you know.
There are definitely some interesting white flowers that grow on the sides of the mountains that certainly have they're good for restorative properties. So if you're going to make a potion that like basically induces the effect of like a lesser restoration, the flowers there would be a good ingredient to use.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get a herbalism kit, aren't I? To try and have a go at making such a thing.
Yeah. Well, they're easily purchasable from any merchant. So.
Yeah, a herbalism kit and then any books on how to make basic potions.
I'm sure it's very much akin to Korgrin's cooking book, just with herbs instead of meats.
Cool. Well, I'll grab the flowers anyway, because if I don't do anything with them, I can always give them to him and hope and pray.
I'm a
So-
flying cook. I know exactly what I'm doing with everything.
So,
That's burning it.
nearer the end of the
It's
day,
intentional.
you all coalesce back into your dormitories. The last to arrive is Otti, who is carrying quite literally 6 bags full of maps and other knickknacks.
Did you
Nope.
have a fun day?
Yep. I will see you all later. Bye. Just shut the door.
Arri, I'd say you.
Anyone else
probably
getting fed up with this, Otti?
Let's make a good roll here. You can get 6 of those flowers, Arri.
Thank you.
It's almost as if someone's rubbing off on her, Rennas. And this is behaviour fitting
That's
of
just
other
disgusting.
members.
What
Not
do you
even
do
that.
in your room, Otti?
Are you saying that my foraging is a result of Rennas?
No. No, I'm
Okay.
not saying that.
No one owns these flowers, so she's clearly not stealing them. So how is it? me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I am literally foraging. I am a ranger. Foraging is what I do.
It was about the Otti comment about going into rooms and slamming doors.
Okay, cool, good.
Do I do that?
Jeez.
So I'm going to start taking the scrolls at the bag. I'm like, Verity is my best friend ever. I am learning so much from her. She is so educational. I'm just going to take a look at some of the maps and start trying to see if I can allocate chapters of the book to the different maps that they relate to.
Okay.
Just a bit of prep before I go and see someone about where things were.
Okay. So as you are doing this, Otti, out in the main living area where the rest of you are, you hear a rap on the sliding doors that mark the outside of your particular dorm into the hallway outside of the monastery.
Eminem, is that you?
Apparently so.
So done. That was like rich level bad. You're welcome.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
At least you could have do his rap.
Official dad. I'm allowed to make official dad jokes. I'm an official dad.
Alright, fair enough, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
So there's another knock on that sliding door.
Fucking Korgrin goes in the apron, like, what am I, a housewife now? Just
there is a monk who is clearly addressed in the garments of Vihan's dojo, standing there. He looks down at you. You and your party have been invited by my master to attend his dojo, which is to speak with you.
All of us?
Yes. Now.
Oh, all right. We're being summoned by Vihan. Go up to Otti's room. Just.
You hear a knock
Yes.
on your room door.
We're being summoned by Vihan.
Fuck. Okay, coming.
Map making will have to wait. Sorry.
I grab all the maps, put them back in the bag, and then take the little bag and just put it on my shoulder and carry it with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
go with all that shit.
All right. So you get your stuff together. That monk is still there. And he says, "Do you know the way to the Hans dojo, or must I babysit you there?"
Do we know the way? Russ, do you know the way?
I know the way.
Russ knows. Russ knows the way.
Okay.
You can take your knickers, untwist them on the way. We can find the way.
With that, he steps backwards, gets on top of the balcony that looks outside of the monastery, and he just jumps off.
Okay,
Korgrin.
dick attitude and all, but that was pretty cool.
I dashed to the edge of the balcony because I desperately want to see this. That's cool as fuck.
He's falling down, that you can see, and before he dashes against one of the outjutting rocks of the thing, he seems to do something with his hands, and he just slow falls and just lands on there, and then disappears into the outside balcony that was like several floors below you.
Walk back. I mean, yep, it was a dick, but that was fucking cool.
Agreed.
Korgrin,
Sorry.
why are you so rude to people? He didn't do anything to you.
He was pretty rude.
No,
Pretty-
I don't think he was.
He was kind of condescending.
We need babying.
Yeah,
Was that not
literally.
you?
We've done the trials. I don't think we need to be babysat, or at least you on that term. Tit for tat.
He's one of the hearts. I don't see why you're surprised. Shall we go?
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm just calling them
Onwards.
out on it. But I'm ready.
Yeah.
Russ,
So-
lead the way.
No pressure.
So, Russ, you take the rest of them and you make your way across the monastery. It does take you a little while to get to Vihan's area of the dojo. Now, you're actually approaching one of the older areas of the monastery, built into parts of the mountain itself. You can see the age-long history built into the very walls and floor. The statues of various monks, though clearly weather-worn, are tended to almost religiously. Flesh flowers and floral necklaces, no moss or ivy, cracks clearly filled with carefully placed stone and filling. Some of the hallways overlook the various mist-filled casts, with the waterfall nearby rushing onwards. Its sound reverberates throughout the valley with an echo that bounces around several times. There are small offshoot platforms that hang out from the viewing balconies, only by about 7 or 8 feet away. Atop these, you can see more statues of more ancient monks. Some of them have birds' nests in their cupped hands. Others have cobras coiling at their feet. Some of them are empty and instead have monks meditating in odd positions. Like you can see one tiefling, he's just doing push-ups, just using his thumbs and no other part of his body touching the ground. Walking onwards, you can see a gold dragonborn, blindfolded, standing before a pot, catching mosquitoes with his bare hands and putting them into the pot. You can see a half-orc practicing with his quarterstaff, doing various flips and strikes, but never leaving the small stepping platform he's on. As you all briefly glance down, the ground is hidden by the mist from the waterfall, but you expect it to be like several hundred feet. Eventually, you reach the destination that Russ is guiding you to. This particular dojo is open and massive. Probably the biggest you've seen. Think like the Forbidden Palace in China, in terms of scope of the training yard. You can see hundreds of monks in red and orange robes performing synchronized strikes and poses, all in unison, as several head monks patrol around inspecting them. There is a walled-off manor at the back that has the iconography of the harm, and you all feel a slightly different energy than what you've seen in other parts of the monastery here. You can see some of the monks struggle to match the moves as you walk past the wide open split in the people that forms like an impromptu path to the manor through the centre. One nearby punches with the wrong hand against everyone else, and a head monk rushes over to him, yelling "Fail!" and strikes him very hard with in the gut with a wooden stick. This man, the man who's hit, he winces at the pain. And it's like, to which the head monk yells again, "A true warrior never shows pain!" Beats him down to the ground. That's what I do. We just want to keep on moving on.
Not our place.
Yeah, that is how the training is done. It was confirmed last night. A lovely chat chatting on some wine with some guys.
He is what they signed up for.
He's not the only one. There are a few of them that as you walk on, you see they get the shit beat out of them if they get it wrong.
No one's forced to stay here, though. Anyone can leave at any point and just give up the training.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. They don't want
free
people
will.
who are gonna bounce out. All these people want to be here. They want to be powerful warriors.
And they don't want a bunch of strangers stepping in trying to protect them, because, it wouldn't help either.
No, it if anything, it might be offensive to them, as if to say, what, you don't think I'm worthy of enduring this, It's not our place. It's sad, we do things differently, but it isn't.
Well, I would just like to get character insights on all of the characters after witnessing that. So can I start with Arrabella? What is Arabella's thoughts and feelings after seeing that display?
She's pissed off, obviously. She doesn't understand why Maltokyo just seems to teach so much through pain. She first saw it in an orphanage. She hated it more in the orphanage, to be fair. But she is aware, as everybody else is, that these guys are choosing to be here. She just thinks that there is a better way to do this than to basically beat them. She's withholding herself from doing druidcraft to basically destroy the staffs as much as she can by making them grow flowers. Or making them, turn back into little trees. She's not going to do it because, these guys are, these people are choosing to be here. But she is pissed. She just doesn't see why they seem to think that violence is the only way. That isn't the only way to teach.
I mean, it's the only way to teach fighting.
It's
teach everything. You teach fighting by fighting, and if you fuck up on fighting, you get hit. Or you get hit, the less you want to get hit, and you work harder to not get hit.
But then you don't get beaten up for getting it wrong. I've been in martial arts classes, and I am fully aware that if you don't defend yourself, you get hit. But you then don't get hit again and again and again because you fail to block one attack.
But that's because martial arts classes are not the military, and I can confirm that is exactly what happens in the military.
Yeah, I'm fully aware, and that's why I never would have suited the military.
Monk army.
Yeah, there's a reason I've never gone into the military. Although I could try.
Sorry, Verity. What is Verity's thoughts and feelings after seeing something like that?
She probably feels sympathy in a way whilst not as violent, her aunt would have used the same kind of humiliation when she was not doing wizard training well, air quotes.
She would have been more of the condescending verbal abuse type, not the she never beat you with a with a
That's what I'm
stick.
saying. It would have been physical, but it would have been like very like humiliating and just like.
Yeah, degrading, shall we say.
So like
That's
I
what-
feel
yeah,
sympathy in
yeah.
the sense of like, sometimes people can't help but fail. But she then thinks they're fools because like if they don't like it, they can always leave. And they don't look like they're having fun, so why are they still here? But then that's just her attitude where she's very blasé about these things to a sense where it's like, if you don't like it, don't do it.
Yeah.
She fails to see the grander scope of their ambitions
I
in
see.
this.
I see. And what about you, Otti? What are your thoughts, what's Otti's thoughts and feelings upon witnessing that?
She wouldn't be massively bothered by it because they are learning a discipline. She just hopes that everyone is there through their own free will, rather than like she was made to do the guard stuff because she needed to earn money, that sort of thing.
I mean, it's no secret that some of these people don't have anywhere to go, but it is also true that you can choose who you want to study from, and all these people did choose Vihan for whatever reason.
You will, people.
Then in that case, they chose it, they're learning a discipline out of it. Yay, the people.
And Russ, obviously, you have seen this. This is not an unknown thing to you. You are aware that Vihan's teaching methods are brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Having been on the receiving end of some of them.
Yeah, and I grew up in the military as well, so I'm used to that kind of, that kind of like tough love training kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd probably still, wince as the people get hit, knowing how it feels, and being more kind of seeing as a sort of necessary evil, really. Not something I enjoy seeing or anything like that, but I know that it's probably a good way to learn. So.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much for telling me that. It helps me understand your characters a little better for the things that might be coming down the line. When you guys get to the wall, large iron doors open inwards at your arrival. You can see a reasonably large garden, well-pruned flowers and sheared hedges. Going up the path in the garden towards the manor, you get the stares of various monks in training as you go by. The front door is open, and you can hear the sounds of more monks training inside. What else to do?
I guess I'll probably take the lead, since I knew I was due to meet with Vihan anyway, and I'm the person who knows him the best.
Yeah.
I'll sort of look around at the guys and kind of signal that I'm going in, and yeah.
I'd gesture forwards. I wouldn't even know whether to knock or not.
Going inside, you can see a smaller courtyard overlooking a training area. Vihan is there, overlooking about a dozen warriors that are clearly highly skilled. Strength, power, skill, balance. These are necessary for a master warrior. But what is one trait we must all be wary of to vanquish any foe? Mercy! That's right! Mercy breeds weakness. A true warrior is ruthless. A true warrior shows no mercy to their foes. No mercy! And at that point he notices you. And he raises his hands, and the monks immediately stand to attention and cease any forms of movement. Our lesson is concluded today. Stand at attention for 2 hours. Viper, if anyone moves, punish them. Turns towards the rest of you, steps towards you. I wish to extend my gratitude for answering my summon. As Suam has decreed, you are worthy, and as tradition demands, I extend my hospitality to you. I also will offer my apologies for my outburst from yesterday. As First Master, I am privy to Suam's secrets. I offer counsel in all matters. Counsel he is free to ignore or take at his discretion. But I do not know why he offers you all such protection and favor. Especially you, Madam Half-Orc. He points towards you, Otti. He means to change centuries of tradition and defy the royal family for you all. I wish to know why he would go to such lengths for you. He does not know you, has never spoken of you.
This is not about us. Have you heard nothing? This is about Argoneth. We were the ones that came with the message. We were the ones that came with the information. You've given him the information, and he has acted on it. This has nothing to do with us. 3 blind men from down the road could have come with exactly the same information from exactly the same source. He would have acted the same way.
We have had people turn up before and say that there's some great power is coming and that we are all in danger. And we saw those people for what they were. Doomsayers and crackpots. Crazy people. Swarm turned them away.
Is that what you believe we are?
I believe that you believe you know what you are talking about.
I believe I didn't ask what you believed I believed. You believe we are crackpots and liars. And mistaken.
I do not believe you are liars, and I do not think you are crazy. I do believe you are a little misguided.
Vihan,
No.
if I may, it is not just these. I was gonna say men, not men. These guys. I have seen firsthand, the man in question, Edgar Talion. He's not to be trusted, and
Of course, no one from the capital is to be trusted, but we have an easy peace with them. So long as we provide the tributes, we are allowed to carry on our traditions as was the days of yonder. Let's not forget that Tokyo fell to windward in war once before.
If he was to summon Argoneth, which I believe he is ignoring that a risk that you'd be willing to take?
I wish to ensure that Mount Tokyo is safe.
As you know, nothing on this plane is safe if Argoneth is summoned. And even if these guys' perception was wrong, we know that they know that Talion tried to use them to summon Argoneth. We know that this is something he's aiming towards.
Well, regardless of whether or not what you believe is true or not, Suam has decreed that the monastery will go to war, and so go to war we shall. Grand Master's word is final, as it has always been. It is not why I called you here. I did not wish to debate the validity of your claims. I called you here because I do not understand why he shows such favor to you, people he's never met before. The trials. Our monks trained for many years to earn that right, but the Grand Master does have the ability to allow anybody to attend those trials. Anyone at all. They do not even have to be a member of the school. Why does he do this for you?
If we were to divulge these details, Rihan, would you mind if we spoke more privately?
Before that, can I just
If you do not wish my students to listen to what it is, to what they have, to what you want to say, then I will command them to remove their ears, and they will.
It seems a little extreme. They could just wait outside.
Go on, what were you going to say, Verity?
Well, Han,
Yes.
if you had a gut instinct about something, someone would follow you. Regardless, right?
Suam does what Suam chooses to do. I am bound by my traditions.
Do you trust someone?
I trust Suam with my life.
And I think it wouldn't be.
You are free to think me untruthful when I say this, but Suam and I want the same thing. We wish to train the next generation of monks to be better than they could ever be on their own. We wish to protect our monastery, our way of life, and Murtokyo. We just simply differ in our approach to this goal. I am a traditionalist, this I will not hide. I do not believe in changing the ways of our ancestors, for it is disrespectful to those who came before. As I said to you yesterday, I fought in the war against Argoneth. I lost many brothers and sisters. They died protecting our way of life. If I seem passionate, it is because their sacrifices weigh on my shoulders. I remember. Swan knows this, and he honors me with First Master. He knows I will carry on our traditions. He knows I will raise capable warriors. Knows I will hold the values he holds.
You say you fought during the war, correct?
Yes.
What is your opinion of the knights?
The knights were great warriors in that war. They are the lapdogs of Windward and its royal family. Now Tokyo is and has always been its own place, but even I would not risk the wrath of the capital.
Said yourself that the Grand Master has the right to choose or allow those outside the monastery to take the trials.
Yes.
You say that you trust Suam. Then why can't you just trust that he saw something in us and he allowed us to take them and he allowed us to defeat them? Trust Suam.
I do trust Suam. It is you I do not understand. Why, especially you, Madam Half-Orc, why does he show such favor to you? What did you do to him?
What was your opinion of the last group of similar individuals that came through?
They were... I am aware that two of them were the children of the ancestors of the knights that were executed for the death of King Raziel. I know that they were trying to clear their names. I found this a worthy goal, at least.
I insight that.
Go right ahead. He isn't lying.
I understand, Viam. Your persistence to know everything about us, whilst lack of details from yourself, is making us hesitant. As I said, we are on a dangerous mission, and we have been burned before. We're just trying to be careful.
I would never, of course, ever wish anything bad upon Suwan. But his time draws near. He may not look old, but the weight of his years slows his fist. I can see it. He can see it. Soon his spirit will ascend, and I will be Grand Master. You may wish to consider your positions when that happens. You could either work with the future Grand Master and secure a mutually beneficial friendship, or you can choose not to help me, in which case I will extend you the same courtesy. I just wish to know why he favors you. So much, why would he even reveal the existence of a Shoska to you?
Is this why you are unhappy, Vihan? You are worried that he is throwing away what should be yours very shortly?
No, I am First Master. By our law, I will become the Grand Master on his death.
If we go to war, this war is not successful, and this monastery does not exist, then you're Grand Master of nothing.
That is inconsequential. If it, as you say, war comes about, then this monastery will fight regardless of who is Grand Master. Swan is my friend, and yet he has not told me why he gave you the trials, why he took you to Ashoska, why he shows such favor to you, why he believed you at your word from the get-go. I just want to understand. Now, I don't want to be enemies with you, but if you are not willing to cooperate with me, then why would I be willing to cooperate with you?
Because you've been told to by your Grand Master.
And soon enough, I will be Grand Master. And what happens if, God forbid, someone was to pass away peacefully from old age, right in the middle of your campaign, and I decide that I want to take my monks home, leave you without the greatest warriors in Windward to storm the front gates of Jaristukai?
Argoneth rises, wipes out this entire plane of dimension. You will know in your final moments that you are entirely responsible.
Well, then that will be my responsibility when that happens, won't it?
I think the ultimate decision falls on Otti.
Otti, Madam Half-Orc. Why? Please, I am your ally.
Insight.
I just want to know. Yeah?
Same.
Yeah, should I?
Very hard
Nice.
to read.
Okay. Verity. With that insight, you can determine that he is telling the truth because he is your ally because he's ordered to be your ally. He clearly doesn't like the idea of being your ally.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to basically... He's clearly trying to negotiate with you. He's trying to figure out how this is going to be mutually beneficial for the both of you.
Okay, then all I want to say after knowing that is just... We just don't want to reveal anything that would stop you being our ally after it's no longer your command. We come here with the best intentions, I swear, but...
And I invited you with the best of intentions. I have no intention to disavow my oath. I just...
But as you said, once you become Grand Master, you'll be able to choose.
And I can choose to have my monks continue to fight for you if you just show me the common decency of answering my curiosities. Swam, I have known him since I was a young boy.
As I said, last decision is Otti's, I think. If she feels comfortable just looking at her like, you cool with that?
But I want you to understand, Vihan, that you've just said you want us to give up our greatest secret, our most dangerous secret, for your curiosities. Does that seem like a fair trade?
You are asking my brothers, my students, to give up their lives for a war you are starting.
A war we are trying
Yes.
to end before it starts.
That is not a very good metaphor.
We are
You
trying
are
to end the
going
war
to
before
war.
it starts. If we wait for Argoneth to be risen, we've already lost. We need to
But you
stop
are
them before that
raising
happens.
an army to march on the capital to stop Argoneth from invading. That
Yes.
sounds like war to me.
A much easier war than fighting Argoneth.
People will die. Maybe he will die. Maybe Viper will die. Maybe I will die.
And if we do nothing, everyone will definitely die.
So Russ would like to maybe like hold Rennas back a little bit.
I'll step
be,
back, I'll calm down, I'm sorry.
I'd be like, Vihan, we want you to be on the same side as us. We want you to be on the same side as Suom. We want you to agree with this.
I will step forward and just say, so, as you mentioned, you thought favourably of the last group that came through, correct?
They were honest folk. Maybe they didn't deserve the right to the trial, but they utilized their gifts with honor and distinction. I'm not saying you are not holding yourselves with the highest of honor and distinctions, but they came here with a mission to clear their names. You come here telling us we need to go to war.
What if I told you we did very much the same? We tried to clear our names, for perhaps similar reasons, and this was the outcome. This is what happened when we went to the capital and tried to clear our names.
I'm saying it does not change the fact that you come here saying that we are going to go to war, and for Suam to just say yes to that. There was he didn't even consider it.
I think you're missing my point a
conversation.
little bit, Vihan. We are trying to clear our names. Who else can you possibly think of that would warrant having their names cleared for an unthinkable, unredeemable crime that many people possibly don't actually fully understand? Maybe you even fought alongside some of them.
His eyes widen a little as he gets it. You are the children.
And children.
Grandchildren of
The ones who sealed him away.
Mm-hmm. In the very war you fought.
Then it makes a lot more sense to me as to why this capital is going for great lengths to try and capture you.
You need us for something or other, we'd rather not find out what.
Mm-hmm.
Will you still find us favourable even after you're not given this command by Suam anymore when you become Grandmaster?
The fact that you are the grandchildren of these knights makes little difference to me. My only concern is why we are going to go to war. In war, we require our minds and our heads. We require to have clarity and discipline. Yet Suam is passionate. He's disregarding a lot of the traditions placed upon him as Grandmaster. What's more, I hear that he has gone to Mount Tokyo for the first time in, well, nearly 30 years today with you. I don't know why he's doing this. Is it because you are the children of the knights? Why would he do that for you? He was war buddies with them. But I don't get it.
I feel like this is a conversation you should probably have with Suom rather than with us. We've told you.
Suom has given his decree. And
Are you not his friend?
I am his friend.
Then talk to him as a friend, not as a subordinate.
I cannot
This is clearly
do
a
that.
personal matter that you want to talk to him about. Just
I
talk.
cannot do that. Tradition
You're clearly
forbids
capable of
me.
making words.
Tradition forbids me from doing this. I am asking you. What is your relationship to him?
Have you learnt nothing from Swampati? Tradition has its place, but if you cling to it while it fades away around you, you just die. Then
You
what?
offend me. Tradition is everything. All the brothers and sisters I lost in that war died for the traditions of Tokyo and the August Monastery. It died with purity in their hearts, knowing that they were doing the right thing. And for you to spit on tradition like that, you are disregarding all the sacrifices they ever had. So do not
at all. They did good things.
ever disregard tradition. It is everything. And you, Otti, what is your relationship with Suom? Why does he go shopping with you? Why does he give you the trials? Why does he take you to a shuska? Why does he have breakfast with you? Who are you to him?
I just kind of whisper to Rennas. I think Fiona may be jealous.
Vihan, why don't we step outside? Come
Wait,
outside.
you are outside.
Oh, I meant like over here.
He sighs and agrees, and he follows.
Other way. Leaving them lot away. There
So he follows.
are indications that there were children of Eleanor.
Yes. And
There are heavy rumours, high possibilities that I could be one of them.
so you are the child of Eleanor.
Yes.
Okay. And why? How does that involve Suom?
You have spoken a lot about tradition,
Yes.
and it is very respectful the way that you have done so. Are there any other traditions, such as things such as celibacy and, marriage and stuff amongst?
No. Marriage is marriage. Celibacy. If a monk wishes to make a vow of celibacy, they are more than welcome to do so.
Suam and believes that I am his granddaughter.
You is what?
Can I insight to see if he's angry or upset?
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, +0s be amazing. That's a 17.
That's a solid roll.
He looks in disbelief.
Yeah, I could be his granddaughter. I don't want there to be personal reasons behind, or I don't want there to be a war, if all in honesty. I just want to live a life where I'm not hunted, where we aren't hunted, we aren't chased down all the time. We aren't getting scried on every day, we aren't being chased and messages to us. We just want to live our lives. And I hope that the monks of Maltokyo will be able to assist with that.
Do you know who the Grandmaster before Suwam was?
Suam did mention Petra.
Yes. Do you know who Petra's first master was?
No.
His Grandmaster now.
Okay.
So, you ever heard of a man named Vidaj?
No.
I see. Thank you, Otti. I have taken up much of your time. I will do my duty to Maltokyo and to the monastery. Thank you for your honesty.
Who is Visage? Visage?
Vidage.
Vidage.
Vidaj. Apparently, he is a forgotten man. He walks away.
Probably Vihan's dad.
You okay? I'll try and get an insight on him as he's walking past.
He doesn't say anything. You can go ahead and insight. He appears to be lost in thought.
I don't want to be dragging this on too long, guys. I just want Verity to be able to, like, knock on the door and check in. Her, air quotes, bravery and courage to approach him last time seemed to work out.
You go up to the door and you knock. And there is no answer.
I'm gonna check if you're okay, Vahan. You really do want to help Maltokyo, no matter what you think.
No answer.
Otti. Does he know? Do we know? We know. Or we think. We assume, I think.
You've made guesses, but you haven't. You guys actually haven't spoken about it yet.
She hasn't said 2 words since we got to this bastard temple.
True.
She's been avoiding us, hiding in a room, going out and buying maps.
Shopping
Clearly
trips.
seeing some guy cheating on Bella.
That guy's old enough to be her granddad. What the hell is she doing?
Is Suam something to you? Silent treatment?
Maybe we
Would you
go and see
prefer if we go
Swampati.
back to the rooms and tell us there?
If you're speaking, Otti, we can't hear you.
That's because I didn't unmute my mic.
Yeah.
I think we need to go and see Suam. because I have a bad feeling that I just fucked up here.
Is he something to you then?
So yeah. That's the part that was muted. I apologize. Yeah, he came and saw me. He remembers me. So it's a little awkward. But I just point over to the house. I said that was a mistake.
What did you tell him? Like, did you grow up here? Were you here with Wicca? Like, what? How?
So so they were so yeah, it's really weird. I'd rather just walk and talk away from.
Yeah.
Okay, before we leave, it's like Verity has her face pressed into the floor, trying to look through the gap, and it's just like, Dan, if you need to talk, I can listen.
Make a perception check.
And, I can, make things for you to beat up if you need it. Pretty dark in there.
You don't see anything, you don't hear anything.
Verity, I've got a book.
Hey. And the dog's going off. But yeah, just gonna, say goodbye to Vahan and tell him he can find me and talk to me if he needs me, and I'll go and run after Otti and her book. I'll be right back.
Okay, so the party leaves Vahan's dojo and begins walking their way back through the monastery.
So on the way back, I'm basically gonna explain that Orien, Suam is my mother's father. He gave me this big book about the history and what actually happened in the War of Argoneth. This is what the maps are for, to plot out what things happen where. I need to tell Suam that he knows, because he mentioned someone at the end of it called Vidage. And I worry who that could be. And thank you.
Just about to do the same thing.
And I worry who that is, and I worry that something's gonna happen. Bad something's gonna happen. So if you want to come with me to see Suam.
Can't think of anywhere better to be.
I'll happily come if you want us. And even if you don't.
Cool. So when we're getting pretty close, I'm just gonna do a message into his hut to see if he's in there. Suam, it's Otti. Are you in your hut? I need you urgently.
Hold on, I just need to make a quick roll. Okay, so surprisingly, before the message even finishes in your mind, Otti, the front doors to his house burst open and Suam is there. And the message you receive is, I'm on my way. He's there, kind of radiating like a bit of power. What's going on? What's wrong?
Who is Vidage?
Vidage?
Hmm.
He was the first master of Grandmaster Petra, the man I replaced.
What happened?
Well, that's a bit of a long story.
And okay, I'll tell you the short side of this side of the story then. That we fucked up. Well, I fucked up. I take responsibility for this, and Vihan cornered us, and he knows
What does he know?
most of it.
What about you
Yeah,
and me?
yep.
Hmm.
And the last thing he said to me was, "Did he mention Vidaj?"
I did not. Well, I was planning to tell him about you when things were a little bit more calm. It's not a bad thing, he knows. It's just I've ever spoken of you or
Yeah, he was super awkward about it, man.
I appreciate that you're probably going to tell your friends anything I tell you about this, but you do not need to be spooked, Otti. The fact of the matter is I never spoke of Eleanor because it was too painful for me. The harm never even knew I had a child. Nobody did. Tell anybody, it was too painful. So I was going to tell him at some point, so you haven't fucked up. It's you just told him something that shouldn't mean anything to him.
Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to seek the truth like everyone else here seems to, and I have bad juju about him. He does
I
not pass the
understand.
vibe check.
I understand that my first master is a bit of a temperamental man, but rest assured he has the best intentions of this monastery and Meltokyo in his heart.
Okay, so just giving you a quick rundown of our little encounter with him. We received a messenger who was a bit of a dick. Asked us to go meet with Vihan. We did. He pretty much said that he doesn't understand why you show us such favor in terms of granting us all of these grand mastery boons that you're able to, such as, circumvent years of training to undergo the trial, why you go on shopping trips with Otti, which I assume that's the maps, amongst other things. I think he just, to me, my own read of it is he's pretty pissed that so many traditions are being broken, and he wants to know why, and he might not be too pleased that it's because it's for your grandchild, and that's why we get such favourable treatment, while also maybe being scorned about something. I don't know. Hence the whole Vidaj thing.
Yeah, he kind of looked like someone who just found out that their best friend had a secret from them for like years, and had to find it out from somebody else. Feels kind of yeesh.
Then I will apologize to Vihan for not confiding in him, but you are overreacting to this.
Last time we underreacted to something, the king tried to get us killed.
Fair point.
Vihan is a warrior, but he is a monk. He is a man who upholds the peace.
And it
You say...
Go on.
Carry on.
I'll
say
go first. Oh, fuck's sake. Rennas, go.
Zach, go first. I'm not speaking ever again.
All right, Rennas, you first, then Zach.
Vihan, you say that... sorry. See? You say that Vihan only wants the best for this monastery. What if in his head the best thing for this monastery is for you not to lead it anymore?
Well, that's a very distrustful thought you have.
I mean, I'm quite a distrustful person, but it comes in handy occasionally.
Well, what if you decided that your halfling friend there decided that what if you
allow me
thought
to
that
answer.
she...
I've
Okay.
considered turning both of these people into the authorities on multiple occasions. However, what Rennas is trying to say is that our conversation with Vihan was a bit on the ropey side, only in respect of there were some pretty vague things that he said in terms of Suam Pati is the Grand Master. What if he was no longer the Grand Master and there was a war going on? Would you not like to have Vihan as your friend who is now Grand Master? Make of that what you will.
I can only assume he is planning for the future, Master Dwarf. It's no secret I am getting on in my age. I may not look it, but I am old. He will be Grand Master after me. There's a very good chance that I might not even survive the war to come.
And
He
that's
feels the need to make plans for the monastery, and it is his prerogative. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, Master Dwarf, if Grand Master Vihan Adira decides that the monastery will no longer be part of the war you are starting, he will bring his monks home, and there is nothing that his masters can do about it. It is our tradition. Grand Master has final say on everything.
And that's fair enough. I just think that relaying this information or saying it in the way that was said belied, I don't want to say malicious intent, but it wasn't in the way that you say. It wasn't, oh, should Suhom unfortunately perish in battle? It was, if Vihan becomes Grand Master, do you not want to have him as your friend?
Maybe sometimes he may let the power or the responsibility overstep his boundaries a little, but the man is temperamental. Man hits his students a little bit too hard for my taste, but he is dedicated to the protection of Tokyo and the August Monastery. The lives here he holds in the highest esteem. He wouldn't do anything to jeopardize that.
Insight, please.
Yeah, go right ahead.
We're just letting you know the conversation that happened. Like, maybe watch your back a bit around him. I know he's your friend and stuff, and he has the monastery, and I'll take you at the highest degree. But like we said, the way he was talking, it seems like he thinks that you disposed of would be the best for Maltokyo and the monastery right now. So please, make sure you do die of old age when it's the right time.
I will discuss this with him. If you are truly disgruntled, dissettled by what he has said, and how he has said it, I will talk to him. I will straighten the matter out. Korgrin, with that insight check, Suam really believes in Vahan. He really believes what he's saying.
And I know this is very specific. Does it feel like I'm speaking to Suam right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, he certainly looks a lot happier.
Sounds like him, acts like him,
Yeah.
postures like him.
I mean, just the way he entered the area proved it was him, the amount of power that resonated from him. Like, he managed to get from his office to the front door before the message, the telepathic message, which is almost instantaneous, finished in Otti's head. He's that fast.
Fair enough.
So,
I think all we're trying to say is just that the conversation we had with Vihan right now just didn't sit well with any of us, and
I understand and I appreciate your concern, and I thank you for it. I will talk with him and make sure everything is okay. But in regards to what he said about Vidage, when I was younger, I was born to unknown parents, and I was abandoned in the monastery at a time where it was considered to be shameful for such a thing to happen. However, I took to the training as best as I could. I became skilled and strong. And one day, during training, I didn't hold back. I struck too hard. I killed a friend. Accidentally. Grandmaster Petra was very much a father to me. But he was stuck on what he had to do. Many of the masters called for my execution, including First Master Vidage. Instead, Grandmaster Petra exiled me. And Otti, that is how I became a mercenary. When I met Eleanor and she encouraged me to become Grand Master, eventually we returned to Mount Tokyo, and through hard effort and after meeting with Grand Master Petra, he allowed me to rejoin the monastery, much to the chagrin of others, but many could see that I had grown as a person. I trained very hard for many years, until eventually Grandmaster Petra could see that there was no better person better suited to lead the monastery than myself. So he replaced me as first master and put aside Vidage. Vidage thought that I stole it from him. And he was always a part of the monastery, but he didn't really go out publicly after that, and he died somewhat 20 years ago. Yes. And that is the story of Vidage. He was Grandmaster Petra's former first master, whom I was chosen in favour of. A slight he took to his grave, I suspect.
Did he become second master, or did he just lose his position as master?
He was offered the position of second master, and he declined.
What happened when...
Oh.
Go on, Otti first, this is your thing.
I think you might have to just... It sounds so stupid saying this out loud, but like reassure Vihan that he's not going to get pushed to the side. If he's brought it up, then it must be important.
Of course, I do not see why the story of Vidage would have any relevance to Vihan, but of course.
Was Vihan close to Vidage?
That I was aware of. I didn't even know they knew each other.
Then it is probably just his fear that he's going to get pushed aside for OT.
I'm just going to throw out a wild card here. I'm going to take a stab in the dark. Vidage was Vihan's dad.
I think that Vidage may have been Swarm's dad. Oh no, I think Petra may have been Swarm's dad.
Well, if Petra ever was my biological father, he never admitted it. He considered me a son, but no, my parents abandoned me as a baby to the monastery.
Any pictures of...
You cut out there, you said pictures and then you went...
Of Petra? Like, you know... Now that I'm aware that, you two share a lineage, I can definitely see it. So you definitely have strong lineage, strong blood there somewhere.
He pulls out a locket in his pocket, looks at it for a moment, and puts it back in his pocket.
Can I have a look-see?
No, that is private.
Ah, he's totally your dad. You just don't know, man.
Well, I'm glad that you're all here anyway. I do have news. Maltokian Council has accepted my calls for a meeting. We'll meet with them in 3 days.
How many days?
3 days.
3 days.
So, you have the access to the monastery as much as you like. However, I know you have all been through it for the ringer. So I have a gift for you all. There is a place in Maltokio called the Forbidden Temple. I have secured a pass for you to go in there for the day. It is only available to certain members of Maltokian nobility and select members of the monastery. I pulled a few favors. It is not a temple in the sense that it is a place you go to pray. If anything, you can consider it the world's most luxurious spa.
Oh, that sounds pleasant.
You can go there and you can relax.
Episode.
You can, rejuvenate. The waters there are particularly beneficial for the skin. You spend the entire day there and you can rest and relax and not have to worry about the weight of the world on your shoulders for a day. That's. I hope this is all acceptable and agreeable for you all.
I'd
Sounds
like
most
to
pleasant.
insight, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now.
It'll be great.
What exactly are you inciting? Or whether or not you're telling the truth?
The weight of the world part. Like, for a day, you don't have to worry about the weight of the world.
From that score, as you can tell, he's just concerned that you guys have a lot of pressure. And he just wants to do a nice thing to try and alleviate some of that pressure.
Okay.
Well then.
That's very kind, and I hope you don't get any trouble for abusing this pulley system.
I have not called in any favors for several decades. I'm owed a few.
I wonder what that's like.
Oh, you guys have tonight to yourselves, and then tomorrow, feel free to turn up at the Forbidden Temple at any time. The main custodian there will endeavor to make your joy a very enjoyable one. If there are any issues, speak to Ayani Taka.
I will remember the name keenly. I just saw it on my notes 2 minutes ago.
Give me 2 seconds.
Ayani Taka is Tippet related.
Yeah, Ayana Tucker is. I have to find blackmail material on her. Assuming it's her.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but I was going to state once everybody was starting to leave that I'd hold Rennas back a bit and just be like, are we going to do what they want?
I mean, I'm a tipper. I want to do tipper jobs. If I give, like, one of the things they've asked us for is a secret entrance to this place. If I give them that, they're going to break in and steal a bunch of shit. And as much as that's cool, you're going to get caught because these guys are fucking insane, and then tippers are going to get killed. How does that help anyone?
I think of the 3 tasks, probably getting blackmail on this person is probably the easiest because I'm not
that's in the forbidden. Yeah, we've actually got a name as a thing to follow up on, so that seems reasonable. Yeah. I was asking around last night. I don't think you were here for that, but I was asking around last night for just met a random group trying to find out if there's any secret entrances. I've got to speak to the younger monks apparently. They're more carefree and escapey.
Nice. I imagine we'd probably find some of them in the Forbidden District, to be honest, if they're escaping.
Oh, no, the Forbidden Temple, the August Temple are separate things. So it's not as like there's going to be secret passageways in and out that someone's going to have found. Apparently,
I'm on about if the bit where the Rakshasha was, then sneaking out to get a bit of fun.
That's Jackalopes. I mean, there's too many jobs.
Yeah, they could be at Jackalopes. Well, we could find some young monks at Jackalopes, Elopes, and Pokes. Because if they're sneaking out, they can guarantee they're sneaking out to get some,
Like your logic, actually. That's a damn good fucking logic.
Yeah. So,
if
you wanted to do that one. Yeah, why not?
I mean, we can find out where it is, and then at least we've got the knowledge. And if we decide to give it to tippers, we can earn 1,000 gold, or we can,
Yeah, I probably won't give it over to them, to be honest. I think
am honestly having second thoughts. I love the tippers, but,
yeah,
these guys are cool too.
They are cool. But we'll see what Yanni's like. And
I never saw Blade catch a fucking arrow when someone fired at him. I mean, if he did that...
He caught a dagger.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to give the guy credit, but he did.
I literally, as I said it, I was like, damn, he actually did do that.
So I know I normally say this to Rennas. Yeah. Korgrin's not there.
No, Blade has also got the stupid personality trait that he needs to make a dramatic exit every time. That's why he always jumped out of those windows.
Broke both his legs every time. For a week.
He's a fucking serious tipper, but he just has that personality trait that he needs to make a dramatic exit every time. Verity, unfortunately, no, we are at 10 past 11. I've only got 5 hours left before I've got to get up, so... what we'll do then is you guys will retire to your dormitories for rest and relaxations. Arrabella and Rennas will go out for a few drinks just to get to know the place. Otti, I believe when they return you will be sharing what you have learned of the book, is that right?
Yes, there's some places I might need some help pointing out on the maps, which I'll probably sit down with everyone and Suam and try and point things out on the maps.
Okay.
But yeah, we can sit down like in character if you want, and or if you want it before, guys. If you want a week to look through it.
I'm happy.
So are you happy for me to put the book in their journals?
Yes.
That might be
all right then.